Hey guys, what's up? Um, Today is gonna be one of those more unorthodox days because yes, I am streaming. Like today we're doing art, but I'll also be talking with different folks in Discord and stuff. But yeah, happy Monday, or as happy as it can get. I'm kind of neutral today because I'm a little bit tired. I still have shit that I need to get done, but when I looked at the assignment that I needed to do, I'm a lot more hopeful because it's not as daunting as I thought it was gonna be. So, thank Jeebus. Like, I think that the hardest part is probably plugging in data and stuff because it's a lab report and whatnot. But today I'm going to continue working on the character sheet that I was doing for Basil. Because I realized one of the best ways for me to make sure that I actually do art is by the fuck my phone. One of the ways that I realize to make myself actually draw is by making it into a stream. So that's gonna save my life, guys. But I'll just go ahead and get into that. But what am I doing? So for context, the character that I'm drawing is Naya. Yeah, her name is pronounced Naya, not Nia. And let me make sure I label this right. And then mouth. I just realized I should ask Basil like what the inside of her mouth looked like. I forgot to ask. We love forgetting things. Can't believe I forgot to ask. I forget to ask things sometimes. Cause like when it comes to art, I'm very much a kinetic person. I have to do something in order to remember things. But I'm going to draw out the mouth. And I'll wait till Basil tells me like what the mouth looks like, so I know to like do buck teeth or like give her a gold tooth if she has one. We'll see. And then I should make the second head. What I hope to do is to get the second head down and draw the front and back of the outfits. Because I at least know what the front looks like. But what I was talking about existentialism is that I'm at a point in life where, well, I'm at an additional point in my life where I am kind of uncomfortable with not just my art but like the current conditions surrounding it. And to contextualize, for a long time I really didn't have like a lack of confidence in my art because like I simply do not have the typical experience that a lot of artists growing up deal with. Like my mom encouraged me to draw and stuff, and she would buy me art supplies for Christmas and stuff, and my sister would sometimes ask me to help her with her projects where she had to draw something. and whatnot, and like the ladies at my church would sometimes commission me to draw them things. So like I didn't feel like my art was worthless or that I had to prove it to anyone. And then even my art teachers, like, you know how people have those you know how there are some artists who talk about how they didn't have any confidence in themselves, or how they had to rebuild their confidence after going to art school or even going to high school because their art teacher would like shit on them drawing anime and stuff. I did not go through that. I did not have that experience because my this to the right. Okay. I'm going just draw over that because like that's gonna be convenient. My art teachers love me because like we had a shitty student base that really didn't want to do anything because they didn't see like art as anything worth it. Like most of the girls in class would make like the live laugh love posters and shit instead of actually doing something. And one of my high school teachers who was in charge of the painting class, he kind of looked like Robin Williams, like in his later years when he had a beard. He was just like, as long as you followed the assignment, you could draw whatever the hell you wanted. Like, he did not care if you did anime, but if he asked you to do a watercolor, then you need to do anime, but in a watercolor. And I feel like that should be sort of the standard when it comes to art class and stuff, that it encourages you to, like, the teachers engage with your interests, but in turn the student still needs to follow fucking directions. Cause I don't know, whenever I hear those stories about the students who get crapped on for drawing anime and manga type stuff, I'm half and half. Because like, on one hand, anime does get crapped on, one because it's animation, and for some weird reason in formal art spaces is seen as lowbrow, and then for another reason a lot of art spaces tend to be very Eurocentric, so anything that isn't like white gets crapped on. But at the same time, the way that some like anime style artists draw, and like how they're not willing to really engage with like other inspirations or try to branch out to enhance their craft, it's like there's nothing wrong with just drawing for fun, but at the same time it kind of disgusts me to see, say, anime artists that only draw nothing but skinny white girls, and then if you ask them to draw something different from that, how they treat that as a personal attack and victimize themselves, and how these very artists are held in high regards and stuff. So it just makes me question, did your art teacher shit on you for drawing anime art because like they're Eurocentric or whatever, or did they shit on you for drawing anime art because you were unwilling to learn fundamentals, you can only draw one kind of thing, and you didn't see engaging with other art styles and art forms as like a good, or you saw engaging with other types of art styles and cultures and principles and stuff as a waste of time. And like, these questions gotta be asked because holy shit. these questions really need to be asked, because the way that some of these popular artists draw stuff and how they're just stagnating, and it's allowed because anime, and it's kind of sad to me. It's really sad to me, but what I was talking about personally when it comes to like artist insecurities and stuff, I didn't really feel that until high school, and I like to reiterate, it's not because of my teacher, because like my teacher encouraged me to hold on. How do you draw an ear? I forgot. Oh my god, I forgot. But like so my state has a competition where young artists can like submit their stuff for it to be evaluated by judges and stuff, and you're competing with everybody and their mom, and you also get to learn new things by looking at other people's stuff. And like I said, I drew a lot of fan art in high school because that was the kind of stuff that I was into. But 2%, I shot myself in the foot, and like I'll get into some of the ups and downs of doing fan art in a moment. I shot myself in the foot because like I was focusing more on like recreation of style in order to experiment with style than really trying to like, I don't know, I feel like I was being more derivative than engaging with the source material and try to do a different interpretation of it or something. When usually when it comes to like making a portfolio or something, it's recommended to do the latter, because like there's a lot of debate and stuff on whether or not professional artists who want to be regarded as professional should have a lot of fan art in their portfolio. And the answer is it depends, right? Because like say that you want to be a concept artist and you want to do stuff for game design, pretty much how you do fan art, you don't necessarily make art of the characters in the franchise that you're doing, right? But you should be doing style studies to show that you can replicate that art style, especially if it's something for like say Riot or Activision Blizzard. Because Riot and Activision Blizzard, they have long-standing games that are going to exist for a long-ass time, and they're not going to change the art style and stuff. But you will be expected to make new assets, whether it's for a new map or new characters, especially when it comes to like skins and stuff. Actually, how did I make her eyes? Because like it's not guaranteed that you're going to be able to be in charge of a new media project. That you're going to be in charge of a new media project where it's going to be based off of your style direction and stuff. They're going to expect you to be able to recreate what's already there. So yeah, if you're going to do fan art, you're supposed to show understanding of the franchise's style. and be able to do that. And then if it comes to stuff like, say, Disney or whatever, they may not be looking for style studies, but like style studies will definitely help, right? But it'll be more like, I'm trying to think. Do style studies, or do stuff that like expands upon the imagery that's already there, and that's not like exclusive to Disney. You got to do it in like general. Like an example would be if I want to work for Studio Orange, because I'm pretty sure it was Studio Orange that did season 5 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, right? If I'm gonna do JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan art, then I would like make fan art that actually engages with the material, like say, or that expands upon the themes of the material. So I won't just draw a picture of Cars from part 2. I'm gonna draw Cars as Icarus, because Icarus flew too close to the sun, and due to his flew too close to the sun and suffered for it. And Cars, in his pursuit of becoming the ultimate being, he became arrogant, which led to his ultimate demise, so that when he actually flies into outer space, he ends up dooming himself to like that eternal trapped in space thing. And like these are themes to keep about. If I draw, say, a Jujutsu Kaisen character, I might draw Gojo as the Hindi deva Indra, who is considered a king of the gods and stuff, because like his hand sign that he uses to open his domain is a reference to that. And honestly, I should be doing some art like that, because I haven't. Like, I'm giving these as examples, but I don't do them because, like, I've dealt with depressive episodes since 5th grade, and it's like whenever those episodes happen, it's just really hard for me to create and stuff. So I really don't focus on that. I have such a vault of ideas, but it's hard to bring them out because of the impact that some of my personal problems and mental state have had on my creation. Like, it's not delivery, it's the struggle. And it's like, damn, life is hard. But, and it's very frustrating because, like, there's a lot of shit that I want to do, but I haven't been able to do it because of, like, because of life getting in the way. Which is part of the reason why I'm starting to do more art streams, to actually make sure I actually, make sure that I actually do things. Because, okay, I didn't even make my art goals last month because I was going to participate in Blacktober, and even though I did participate, it wasn't quite in the way that I wanted to, because I wanted to do like 3 full illustrations and do a bunch of sketches the concepts that I wanted. Did not get to do that. So now to be a little bit easier on myself, because I don't like beating myself up for not doing things. That's not helpful. Shit. I don't like beating myself up for not doing things. Because to me, that's lame and unproductive. Like, congratulations, you hate yourself. What is that going to do to help the situation? To make things easier on myself, I'm going to give it until like the end of the year. Yeah, life and art both got hands, and I hate when I have to fight them. Hey, Popcorn! How's it going? But yeah, they both got hands, so you just got to learn how to bob and weave and punch back sometimes. So to make things easier on myself, I want to get those art goals done by the end of the year. And that's going to give me plenty of time because, you know, Thanksgiving break is coming up and then Christmas break is coming up. And I'm pacing myself. Still kind of grinding, but definitely less so than I should. Yeah, but is grinding necessarily a good thing? Like, why do we have to grind for things? Why can't we just experience life at a leisurely pace and not have to worry about, like, being at a certain threshold by a certain time? Which is why I ended up changing my art goals to, like, by the end of the year instead of, like, by the end of the month. Because, like, no. Especially with all this shit going on with finals. Like, I simply do not have time. I cry. But, like, don't be too hard on yourself. I wonder. Capore, capore. He, who, me, yo. Cho nasasa. DJ. I'm trying to see how to arrange things. Actually, put the eye in the mouth in between these two. Or maybe I should move the front to the side. Shit. Fuck. Don't do that. Nasasa. Kapaya. DJ. Anastasia. Oh no, it didn't change. Ooh, I gotta change. I gotta move the okay, that's closer. Then let me zoom in to make sure the pixels are like even. I'm not trying to move the can I deselect? Yeah, it's shifted a little bit. But yeah, I'm changing my goals to finishing things by the end of the year instead of by the end of the month. That way I'm kinder to myself, and hopefully things will be better this time around. But when I'm talking about like art insecurities, particularly, so part of that is not being able to create as much as I want to. The other thing is like the frustration that there are some things that I do want to draw, but my what was I thinking about? Shit. I wanna. There are some things that I want to do, but my skill set isn't where it needs to be, and it's just like shit. I gotta learn more things, and considering I barely have enough time to begin with, that's not helpful. Yeah, always more fun when you're not on your own ass about things. Yeah, it helps. But it's like, shit, I got more things that I have to do. And I can't even do those things because I have to be responsible and do my priority stuff. And it's like, fuck my priority stuff sometimes. And like, living has been difficult because like, I've said this in a previous stream, but I've had some revelations about things, particularly about like being home and staying in state this time around instead of going out of state for college, because like I've changed my plans with that. Realizing that a lot of people that I considered like friends and stuff weren't really. Should I go ahead and do her hair? I should go ahead and do her hair. Start with the first head, actually. But like, I hate how my lack of transportation has had an effect on my social life. And on one hand, it's like kind of a given because it's just like, you know, whether or not you're able to actually get out the house determines whether you're able to go out and hang out with people. But at the same time, it's just like, why is it that my struggles with transportation gets treated as an inconvenience when dealing with other people? That's where the trouble part comes in. Like there are some people who act a fool whenever they're asked if they could take somebody somewhere, and then they want to act like they're doing something because They're not taking gas money even when you offer gas money, but somehow you still feel in debt to them. And it's just shit. And hold on, I'm trying to see. Pretty much, the ad break is over. Pretty much, I was talking about how, a lack of transportation could be a really shitty obstacle when it comes to, like, socializing. Because it's physically hard for you to go somewhere and then other people treat your lack of transportation as if it's an inconvenience to them, even though you're the one who's without a resource. But I've been trying to fix that by going... I get out the house at least twice a week. One to do errands and one that's purely recreational. They did not want me to finish because the stream did not want me to speak the truth. But, so there was that. I talked about a little bit about artistic, insecurities. My other insecurity is like, I know I shouldn't be worried about mass appeal because a lot of things, some things that are mass appealing are kind of lame. Like there are some things that's just hard for me to get into, especially now. Like, as a black woman, I feel very isolated from some media when it comes to finding stuff that I like, because and I say that because, like, if it's stuff that's made for black people, sometimes it could be dehumanizing to black women. And then if it's not, like, made with a black audience in mind, but it has a black woman in it, it could be dehumanizing, but in a different kind of way. They said the revolution will not be televised, but yeah, I can't stand not having a license. It's like, my projects haven't picked up off the ground. And sometimes I wonder if what I create even matters because it doesn't have, like, any proximity to white people's stuff. Or stuff that, like, white people would like. And then even with me being queer, because, like, I recently came out as bi. Congratulations to everybody who thought I was bi. You were correct. It's not necessarily that I didn't know it yet. It's like, how can I be bi when there aren't any women around me that I like? That's not quite how it works, but that's specifically how it worked for me, because it's just like, I can't say that I'm gay if there's nobody that I'm gay for. I don't give a fuck. I like the concept of being with girls, but a lot of the girls I'm around, I don't give a fuck about, specifically in that way. But after some soul searching, it was nice. But, like, a lot of queer media experiences I do not fucking relate to. And that's largely in part because it's not made for women like me. Like, there's a lot of queer media that is not made for black women. And then a lot of stuff that's, like, praised as queer media, it's like fujoshi stuff, and I'm not a fujoshi. I respect myself. Like, I'm not a yaoi fan. I refuse to be. Like, I think that there's better options in this life than praising fetishistic content made by women. Because I can't. Made by women and, like, and those assigned women at birth, because there are, like, some male yaoi fans and a lot of them are trans men, right? But I feel like there needs to be a discussion around desirability and how women's desirability is heavily based around helplessness and violence. Because my main issues with yaoi, aside the fact that it's like gay media for a non-gay male, it's media about gay men for people who aren't gay men, and that bothers me because, like, I hold that in the same regard as The Help, how it's pretty much media about women of color for people who aren't women of color, because I feel like that's a form of commodification through media. Yeah, especially exactly Hidden Figures, how they literally created a fake white dude just so the white audience wouldn't feel bad about, like, white supremacy, and wouldn't feel too bad about white supremacy and stuff. And it's so fucking stupid, right? Like, it's amazing how when I identified as straight, how I could hear about, like, atrocities committed towards gay people and I wouldn't take it as a personal attack. I would just see that as, like, a call to change things, because it's obviously a bad thing that happens. I don't understand how people of privileged demographics can learn about other demographics suffering and then they treat it as, like, a personal attack on themselves. Like, why is it that being empathetic towards marginalized people makes you feel like a bad person? Like, that's so pathetic. But no, that's how I hold yaoi. Like, making media about gay men and then gay men aren't even the audience for it, to me, is very gross. And I don't respect it. But yeah, a lot of queer media is not made for black women. At least a lot of mainstream queer media is not for black women. And a lot of queer media that's made for women, that depicts dudes in it, is not made for women who respect themselves. Which is why I feel out of place. And when it comes to Yuri, I'm trying to find more sapphic stuff, but then at the same time, when it comes to a lot of mainstream sapphic stuff, as a black woman, I still feel alienated. Because, like, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but I made a post. I'm like, sapphic artists, can you draw a lesbian couple, interracial lesbian couple, where the black woman isn't the masculine one, or when the darker skinned woman isn't the masculine one, or are you just that devoid of creativity? Like, something that gets on my nerves with a lot of palm colored gay people is that, like, they talk about how straight relationships are boring and stuff, but, like, you're white. Like, I don't care how gay it is. If you're white, then it's still going to be boring to me because of how Eurocentric a lot of these standards are. How you still manage to have, like, very Eurocentric views of gender and whatnot. Like, I'm bored. I'm so bored. And then even with some Asian media, because, like, a lot of East Asian media sometimes ends up pandering to Western audiences, so it's still the same fucking problem. I don't know why I made this grid I know why I made the grid this intensive. It's because I hate myself. But it's going to look good. Believe in me. Trust the process. Trust the process, I say to myself as I'm about to torture myself. But just, oh my gosh. Suffering for success, yes. Art is pain. We must be mindful that it doesn't have to be pain, right? Like, we try to make the process bearable. Like, your art can be fun and free of suffering and still be art. But like, sometimes you gotta crack some eggs to make an omelet, even though I'm not even an omelet person. Like, I just like my eggs lightly seasoned. Or I'll eat like a deviled egg. Like, I do not care about all of that in my eggs. Because I'm like, if the eggs require all of that shit to be good, then it's just like, you kind of suck at making eggs. Like, I'm so sorry. I've been trying to have more fun art, but it's just not been coming to me right now. Well, maybe do some self-reflection. What made you... Knowing why you do art and knowing what aspects you like to draw and maybe sticking with that or like trying to expand upon that can help. I like how it looks like I'm about to give her waves. Because that's what I'm going to start to do. Even though that is going to be a journey in of itself. Spider-Man brain where it makes me think of the Osborns whenever I hear about waves. Yeah. I'm like, why did they do that? You know, something that I wish that was like utilized more or at least discussed in comics concerning Peter Parker and the Green Goblin. You know that Peter Parker is Jewish, right? I'm like, has anybody ever pointed out or talked about how a Jewish superhero's arch nemesis is a creature that's been used as a caricature for his people since like the Victorian era? Like, I don't know if a comic run has really talked about that, but it really should be, because like, holy shit. Like, I don't care if it's just 2 panels, like, say something. Yeah. Maybe use art as a... Since you're at a point where you're not trying to escape your problems, but actually trying to address them, maybe try using art as a means to, like, explore those problems to try to find something. Art was partially an escape. First art was just fun. Like, I wanted to draw the characters that I liked. And it was lit. And now a lot more inspirations for my art is like fashion design and stuff, because I actually wanted to be a fashion designer when I was younger. But I started using art as a means to self-reflect, and it actually made me hate art for a little bit, because as I was realizing stuff about myself, it like became harder to create because there was stuff about myself that I really did not like. Like I'm really angry and critical of things. And I know that people tell me this stuff, but like how they say it isn't really helpful. Because it's just like, okay, I'm angry and I'm critical of things. Have you tried actually taking me out of the material conditions that makes me so pissed off? Like, the reason why I end up going on tangents about media that I can't stand and stuff is not necessarily that I'm pissed off about that. It's because I'm pissed off about other things in my life. And media, which is something that I usually find fun with, is supposed to be a fun thing. But when there's something in it that makes it unfun, it like pisses me off because it's just like, nigga, you're not doing your job. You're supposed to bring joy and you're not doing that right now because the writing is so shit. Yeah, especially if you're using art as like a means to communicate and stuff, it's easy to be picky and stuff because you want it at a certain quality to make you easy to understand and stuff. Me, I don't, even when I'm using art to like explore my problems, I don't use it as a means to communicate. Not that I'm afraid of sharing these feelings with other people, but like I just focus on getting those feelings out, so I'm not like bottling it up or anything. But to be honest, I would prefer to destroy shit. Like, I'm not the kind of person to go to say, oh, create when you feel like shit. I'm like, nah, break things, get upset. Like, we should not be obligated to be productive all the time whenever we get hurt or mistreated or frustrated or whatever. I want to break shit. Just as long as you're not killing anybody, it's okay. Because I feel better whenever I'm like destructive but not self-destructive. Honestly, being angry is what's keeping me from being hella depressed. Like, I still have depressive episodes, but it's not nearly as bad because I choose to get mad instead of sad. Because I remember reading this one tweet and somebody had linked the article to it and I forgot to save the article, which is very tragic. But they were specifically talking about like black women in our depression, and usually whenever it comes to marginalized women in general, but especially black women, is that our source of depression usually comes from internalized anger, because you know we're not allowed to get angry or we get demonized for it. So instead we get sad at ourselves and internalize our problems and make it into a us thing because it's always treated as a us thing, even though it's not always a us thing. And I feel like when it comes to like marginalized people in general, especially with like the high rates of poverty and shit, we're getting sad at ourselves instead of getting mad at capitalism and the people in charge. Like, why are you killing yourself when you could kill your enemies? Kill your land. Do not kill your landlord. Do not go to jail. But like spite is such a powerful emotion. Because it's just like, why be depressed towards yourself? Or why end it all and deny yourself the possibility of experiencing good things when there are people who are objectively shitty and they are living their best lives? And it's not even about like what you deserve, because as far as I'm concerned, there really is no merit to having a good life. It's just whether you have it or not. Because there are some people who I think do not deserve to have good things. Like, you know, a person who doesn't deserve to have good things? J.J. Abrams. Because of the way that he wrote Star Wars. Like, I hope he finds the love of his life, gets married to that person for 15 years, only to walk in on them cheating on him with a black man. It's like, I should follow Saigo. I haven't talked to y'all in a while. No, I did not hear about the Saigo Jeff Bezos territory. What happened? Last time I talked to Saigo, or was it Beast Trigger? It was somebody British in the chat. And I can't remember what we were joking about, but I was just like, I know it was something about fighting British people. And somebody was like, keep that energy when you go to Birmingham. And I was just like, nigga, I ain't afraid of no Peaky Blinders. I'm just gonna, if I walk in there with an anti-knife vest, what are you gonna do then? Because that's the only thing that y'all could do over there. You can't bring a gun. Hey, PJ. It's like I said, Jeff Bezos should go to purgatory where he has to make the entirety of his fortune on his employees' wages. Yes. He's another person who does not deserve a good life. But like when it comes to a good life, it's not about what you deserve. And I think that's what people need to realize. Like, you do not have to deserve to have good things. Because some of these struggles that we go through simply should not exist. Like, a lot of them are simply man-made to make people miserable. And if we can make these systems, then we can also undo these systems. That's why I shit on nihilism, because it's such a useless ass ideology. Because nihilists will be like, nothing matters, and it's just like, okay. Okay, nothing matters, but you still want to live. It's funny how people stop being nihilists when you pull out the blicky. But it's like those weird company surveys where an 8 is actually like a 1. Oh my god. Damn. This is so convoluted, but it's also so beautiful. Like, this isn't just regular hell, it's Buddhist hell, right? Because, like, in Buddhism, hell is very personal. Like, how hell is made, there's multiple hells. There's like several hundred hells, and that's because the principle is that hell is created when a sin is committed a certain amount of times in order to generate enough negative energy to create its own realm. And therefore, a lot of people's hells are personalized. Like, there is a specific hell for AI bros. And the shit that Jeff Bezos does is so personal that his hell is going to be exactly like what you described. Like, you know that one song, Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift, I'm the problem, it's me, that's him. But hey PJ, how's it going? Oh, hey, Cryptid! Welcome to chat for the first time. Say hi and chill and stream. Nice. What I'm drawing is a character sheet, because I got a commission. Oh yeah, if y'all want to give me money for a piece of art, my commissions are open. I should advertise them more. Like, I should take about, like, I don't know, 4 a month. That seems like a good deal, especially depending on what it is. Because I could do 4 a month, depending on what it is. But, I'm doing a character sheet for... Actually, let me go ahead and do a shout out for him. My client's name is Basil Not the Herb. And he's a PNG... He's a PNG tuber who does like Pathfinder and a lot of RPG streams and stuff, and he does a lot of world building. And recently he's doing a Pathfinder campaign, and the character that he's playing as is a cleric named Naija. Well, no, named Naya. And Pathfinder has this campaign that's loosely, there's like one area that's based off of Kenyan culture, and we had to work together to do research and to create like a outfit profile for Naya, because she's a cleric, and she specifically, how do you pronounce this tribe? Because like the Pathfinder campaign, that specific area that she's from is loosely inspired by Kenya, but we were being a little bit more specific because Kenya has like, I don't know, over 30 something different ethnic groups within it. The Kikuyu people, that's who she's based off of. So I'm gonna put like a lot of cowrie shells. I'm gonna see if there's a brush for that, because I really would not like to draw every fucking cowrie shell. But if I gotta, I gotta. Like, I don't wanna. And I definitely don't want to make a brush for that, because I know I don't use cowrie shells like that in my art. But we're gonna pray. I'm gonna use a different color to differentiate. But yeah, I'm drawing a character sheet. Wonder if I could copy the ruler. And then, you know, it's very convenient that Basil asked me to help him make a Kenyan inspired OC, because like when he contacted me, shit, where are all of my references? He contacted me around the same time I started working on my Jujutsu Kaisen OC. Because I have a Jujutsu Kaisen OC. I'm writing a Jujutsu Kaisen fan fiction. Because after what happened to Gojo in the manga, I was mad as hell. Not the first thing that happened, but the second thing that happened. And I was just like, damn. I'm tired of Gege. I'm just gonna make my own reality and cope. But I ended up making a Kenyan OC because there's a character in Jujutsu Kaisen named Miguel. Yeah, I knew about what happened, and I think that it's a dumb decision. It is a really stupid decision, because if you wanted him out of the picture, you could have just kept him in the fucking box. That's what it's there for. But then somebody made a thread about how somebody is theorizing that things aren't exactly what they seem, and they were specifically using a lot of Buddhist principles and stuff, and how Gojo's journey parallels with Buddha himself, and how and like, I'm being vague because these are technically spoilers, and I don't know if anybody in here has read the manga or not. I don't know if everybody in here has or not. Plus, I post this as a VOD. But like, a lot of Gojo's journey and stuff has parallels to the Buddha, so maybe those concepts and stuff will make things different. It's amazing though. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen has a lot of references to both Buddhist and Hindi principles. Well, Hindu is the language. Hindu principles. Skip the time. The thing is, I don't know how long I'm going to talk about it, because I really do not go back and watch my VODs. I should though. I should make clips. I haven't even been keeping it up. I just saw it in a random thread, and I was happy to see it because I'm like, finally somebody who's actually engaging with the cultural references in there. Because like, I've been seeing a lot of, I've shat on this before. I've shat on it twice on Twitter, but I'm gonna shit on it again because I'm tired. I need artists to find something different to depict besides like their Catholic trauma, and then half of these artists are fucking Protestant. Like, I know that the church is shit, and we like Christianity is pretty garbage, and I largely blame white supremacy because like it's amazing how Christianity was like existed in North Africa and South Asia and stuff, and a lot of the issues with fundamentalism that we see today did not exist until like white supremacy and colonial influence and stuff. But like, holy shit, can you find another piece of fiction to put your Catholic trauma onto? Cause like, One Piece still got me by the throat more than anything. Cause like, imagine seeing a piece of fiction with so many references to Buddhism and Hindu, and then you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna draw Gojo as a Catholic priest. That's so boring. Like, why would you do that to yourself? Cause like, you know how like people quote unquote cope with their trauma by like sexualizing priests and stuff, and it's just like, because like it's the juxtaposition of a quote unquote holy person doing something unholy, but it's just like, and it's supposed to be thought provoking and stuff, but it's just like, it's been done so many times. You can only do that so many different ways until that shit is like fucking boring. And then like, even if you're being horny about it, there's still like that element of shame and stuff. Like I feel like people actually engaging with people who have found that balance between a religious lifestyle and still being sexually expressive, I think that's more profound because of how like that defies the status quo more than just horny nun cosplay number 187. That's another thing that I have like a problem with when it comes to art, both on a personal level and stuff. I'm surrounded by so much shit that I don't care about, and it's putting me in a drag because it's just like, is it because I'm depressed or is it because so much stuff is shit? And the answer is yes. But like, I don't want to see Gojo dressed up as somebody's Catholic trauma. Like, I want to see him dressed up as Buddha and Toji dressed up as Sun Wukong. Because their encounter is literally a Journey to the West reference. I'm gonna flip this because it shows bias to the left side of her body, and I know that eating with your left hand is like controversial in Kenya. Like that, there's a voice line where Gojo is like, I alone am the honored one, and that's because that's what Buddha said when Sun Wukong pulled up to heaven to start some shit. And that's when Buddha was just like, okay bro, you got a little bit too much dip on your chip, you need to sit down. Like, I do not want to see Ghetto Suguru with an H and two T's doing a confessional while getting his dick sucked. Like, that's so boring. Like, I find that as boring as Doja Cat recent branding, how she's trying to profit off of Satan. I've said this so many times, but I feel like I have to reiterate it. Satanic panic marketing is not like profound or fun when you're a shitty person. Like, you can't be like, I'm being demonized by the media and by the public when you're dating a groomer. And then it's especially boring because, like, you're putting devil horns and fire and brimstone over some Animal Crossing ass beats. Like, at least with Lil Nas, despite his crunchy hairline, was doing commentary on, like, being in the closet and not being able to live his authentic self because of fear of being demonized. But Doja? Unoriginal. Like, it's giving Miley Cyrus when she was trying to break away from Disney and stuff. And I feel like this is what Doja is doing. Like, she's being inflammatory and stuff to make herself less marketable so she could get out of her contract faster. But I don't even think that's going to work because, like, how long did Kesha refuse to make art and stuff and she was still stuck in her contract? Because, like, both Doja and Kesha are under control of the same producer, Dr. Luke, and Dr. Luke is a terrible person. But, like, if Kesha could literally go without a hit for years and stuff and make something that's very different from her newest stuff, because she came out with an album recently and it flopped, and it was partially because the company refused to, like, market it and whatnot. Sash, embroidery. I need to download an embroidery brush, and I think about it. Things that I gotta do. But, remember when Miley Cyrus was doing the twerking and stuff? It was because she was trying to change her image so Disney wouldn't continue to have control over her assets and stuff, because the faster you break away from Disney when you're an adult, then the more freedom you have, because, like, those conditions were garbage. It's very much giving that. But it's boring. And Doja Cat is still a shitty person, which is why I don't care for her. But, yeah, I feel like I've unfortunately caught some of Cuddles' pessimism when it comes to enemy. Because remember the Cuddles opinion, how he's just like, why is so much media mediocre? And to be honest, I still disagree with the idea that so much of media is mediocre. Like, I still like certain things, but, like, when it comes to, like, stuff like fandom culture specifically, I'm bored as hell, because a lot of fandom culture panders to cis white women with problems. I'm downloading these brushes in another tab. Like, I hate how much cis white women have dominated fandom spaces. Like, it's so gross. And I say with problems because, like, there's so much DDLG stuff. Like, why is it that every fanfic... Because I read smut fanfic. I'm going to be honest about it. Shit, I've written it. Why is it that most of the Dom fanfics that I've been seeing has daddy in it? Like, can y'all find a different name to use for Doms? Or are you just that uncreative? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I have daddy issues. And, like... I kind of have a fear of folks who want to be called daddy, because there's been too many weird dudes who's just like, if a girl got daddy issues, that means she'll do this, this, and that. And I'm like, no, I will kill you. Like, I would rather call a dude chef than daddy. Like, yeah, who's my little donut? Yes, chef. I did say that I want to write a script, like an ASMR script. Okay, I'll hydrate. Is this a double entendre because I'm talking about dirty subjects? I am drinking water though. Thank you for the hydrate, PJ. Also, y'all should check out my other redeems. Because my model has toggles now. Actually, don't do the redeem right now. I forgot that I didn't open Mix It Up. I hate forgetting things. I feel like Francine in the episode of Arthur. She's just like, oh no, I'm a failure. Aw, you're point poor? Show up more, nigga. I'm doing greatness here. Okay, let me... Shit! I just realized how loud that is. I'm gonna have to mess with the, Like, I jumped out of my seat. I'm gonna cry. I gotta change the audio settings. Under. Shit, I lost my train of thought. That's how much it scared me. Not scared, scared. I would rather call a dude chef before I call him daddy. And that's how spiteful I am. I'm not doing that. I'll call you boss. I'll call you sir. Cause I remember how a bunch of folks were like, Nanami is so daddy, and I'm like, no the fuck he ain't. Especially after he did that hair pulling scene and stuff, like everybody was on his dick and so was I. Cause like, he deserves it. Let him have it. Like, all I want to do is see that dude go to Malaysia. And you know what pisses me off? Like, I'm not going to say what happened to him because spoiler. But like, you want to know the worst that was supposed to happen to him? He was only supposed to lose an arm. And I'm like, Gege, why didn't you do that? Like, what was stopping you? And like, being a Jujutsu Kaisen fan is very frustrating because it's like, Gege has the nerve to say some shit like, oh, I can't stand Gojo. People should be into characters like Nanami. And I'm like, I agree. And like, I love Gojo. I love him with my soul. But I agree because Nanami is simply a better man. But at the same time, it's just like, nigga, if you want people to invest in a character, then you need to actually invest in them. Like, you did a whole backstory about Gojo and his lame ass friend Ghetto with an H and two T's, and then you have the nerve to get mad. I wonder, do they have a calorie shell brush? Now that I look at it, let me look that up now. Also, let me make sure that I spelled the name right. Oh, I spelled it wrong. It's a I-E, not a Y. Damn, they don't have any. There aren't enough Africans making brush assets on Clip Studio Paint. Shame. I'm trying to think. I'm not that far yet. I know of his existence. Like, I know he has a domain that looks like a bunch of, I just can't remember names. Remember! I know he has a domain where it's a bunch of slot machines. And that's all I know. Because technically, I'm really not all that far. Like, I've been spoiled. And I understand concepts. I know that there's somebody fighting Franken Forehead with the power of memes. I just gotta actually read it. I just haven't made time. I need to do better. Like, this dude is just straight up fighting a curse user by pulling a filthy Frank. He's not pulling a filthy Frank. I'm actually glad he's not pulling a filthy Frank. I'm joking. Like, imagine what a curse user who acts like filthy Frank would be like. That shit would be so terrifying. Like, sweet Jesus. I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move and draw like 3 different cowrie shell shapes. And then I'm just gonna copy and paste because we ain't got time for this. I wish there was a brush. I also gotta delete some of these. You don't know who Filthy Frank is? Filthy Frank was internet sensation. If you listen to like, and he ended up becoming a lo-fi singer. Like, we always make fun of his music as like sad nigga hours. His name is Joji. He was a YouTuber who would wear a pink bodysuit, and his persona was pink. I'm gonna be so for real. I live under a rock in an undiscovered cave. Rest in peace. Okay, so Filthy Frank, YouTube sketch comedian. Not like the kind of sketches that Caleb City and them would do. Like, it would just be a very absurd concept that he would do, and he would play as these very different characters like Safari Man and Pink Guy. And eventually doing the voices for his characters was just getting really painful and inconvenient. So eventually he quit doing all of that to become a lo-fi artist, and now his name is Joji. You could also ask. Like, I may make fun of you for not knowing, but I will answer. Is he good at it? I like some of his stuff. I listened to him when he first came out, but I didn't keep listening to him because my music taste changed. No, it's okay. But with me personally, I don't mind like explaining a thing. I don't mind explaining a thing because, like, okay, whenever I rant by myself, right, I end up getting off topic eventually anyways, because how my brain works, whenever I find a slight connection between the two things that I'm talking about, it'll easily shift. Which is why I ask my viewers to act as a captain's log, because sometimes I'll go into a tangent and stuff if I'm not helped. Shout out to the Sonic Dot Pipeline. That's what it's called? Or are you talking about like being a Sonic fan and some of the struggles that go with that? No, just me personally. Gotcha. Technically, this is the default for my art thing. I should make myself bigger for the game and the browser things, but like, this has always been my default size for art. But how's it going, Poppy? How's your day? Today's subjects were pop culture things, art existentialism. See if you got StreamerBot running. Yeah, I forgot to turn it off. You want to know something funny though? I ended up changing to Mix It Up, because when I tried to test out the toggles for my new outfit, I already forgot the damn instructions. And I'm like, shit, if I'm gonna forget the instructions all the time, I might as well change. Like, StreamerBot seems really awesome, right? But Mix It Up, it just looks easier to use at a first glance. I appreciate your assistance from earlier, though. But I do plan to do like more outfit toggles and stuff because I have alt outfit ideas and I already have a character sheet for one of my alt outfits. I just gotta do more because I know I want a Minecraft thing because I'm gonna start playing Minecraft more often. Yeah, and see, I do not want to do that much coding. Like the most I want to do is like HTML and CSS for any website customization or to do like toy house shit where I share my OCs. Oh yeah, I got a toy house. I don't use it though. I need to do better. Turn off the embroidery so I can actually see the spacing of these shells. I'm also going to make these shells a lot smaller because cowrie shells should not be this damn big. Actually, speaking of needing to do better, what are you doing, Popcorn? What do you also have to do? So I found out that Jungkook Jungkook from BTS favorite character is Gojo. That means that Army needs to stand the fuck up and harass Gege and tell him to write better. I need the BTS Army to tell Gege to write women better. Been planning to start streaming for actual months, but my ass did not work towards it at all. Honestly, that's understandable. You know, I was gonna do like a birthday stream event. Did not do that shit. Firstly, because like I wasn't quite sure what I was gonna do my birthday weekend, and I wanted to have my personal plans finalized before I try to do a stream thing. So by the time I actually got to do the stream thing, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this shit. Y'all will see me next week. Fuck, I look like streaming on my birthday. Not that it's bad to do so, right? I think these are too big as a... How big is a cowrie shell again? I'm looking this up in browser. We love doing research in the middle of... Like, you think that you do enough research before you start a commission and you did not. It's a lie. You're always learning throughout the process. I don't want actual dimensions. I need a size comparison, please. Like, how big are the small ones? Because I don't think I have any... Actually, shit. I'm stupid. I got cowrie shells. I got cowrie shell jewelry literally right next to me. So, I want to do it, and it would be fun to do shit with other people I know who stream, but my ass cannot will myself to get into. Have you tried making it into like a fun activity? Like how I get myself to do things sometimes, and it actually helps me be easier on myself is by making it into a fun thing to do. So it's about the size of a thumb. I'll make it a little bit smaller. So like when you make it into a fun thing to do, that makes it a little bit like less of a daunting task. Now I'm gonna save this up here for when I use it for other parts. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I need one of those, those things that you use to train dogs, like the clicking thing. Like, I'm like, am I gonna have to use the clicking thingy just to get myself to do shit? If I had to put a collar on myself. Have fun with that. This dude not trying to do his chores. He's trying to have a fun time. Like, I remember saying on my lewd alt, because sometimes I have thoughts out loud on there. Although I need to actually draw lewds. I'm going to. I'm actually working on one. I'm proud of myself. I set up the 3D model. I just gotta actually, do the rest of it. But I set up the 3D model. That's something. Cause I should be proud of myself because one of my New Year's resolution was to draw more lewds, and that's what I did. I literally drew 2 lewds earlier today. I ended up redrawing one that I made in the past, and then I did like a solo art piece of Jamie from Street Fighter for a friend of mine. And I was so proud because that helped me learn how to render skin a certain way. But I was just like, I need a DOM switch that'll give me $20 for doing my homework, and maybe I'll want to do my homework more often. I'm so serious. But I'm so serious. I'm so serious. But yeah, I'm doing things. Another thing to stop being shit to yourself is realize that you are doing a lot more than what you think you're not doing. Cause when I first started streaming, it was because I start things and don't finish them whenever it comes to art projects or whatever, personal art projects. I was just I'm happy if I stream for a month. And that's why I did not do a big debut and stuff. I was not going to do a countdown or something because I didn't want people to, I don't know, I guess I didn't want to disappoint myself and I didn't want to disappoint other people if I didn't fall through with it. Hold on. Let me drink more water. I'm gonna cry. Okay. What was I thinking about again? I did a lot more than what I thought I did because, like, I started streaming in April and I managed to make affiliate in. I don't know if I made affiliate in September or October. I knew it was in time for my birthday. God damn it. I gotta turn on the. But, like, I knew that when I debuted, I'm like, I want this as low stakes as possible. I'm gonna post and stuff so that people know that I exist. But I was not gonna do a countdown thing for my model. I was not gonna spend a lot of money to do stuff. All of my assets I made on my own. Like, graphic design is not my passion, but damn it, I'll learn it if it means that I don't have to spend any money. That's the thing about being low income. It causes you to be innovative. So I think if you make your streaming debut like very not low effort but low risk, that helps. And then you just go by vibes and move forward from there. I would have like 1 or 2 goals. I think that the first goal that people should have in mind when they start streaming, like, don't worry about brand deals, don't worry about hitting a certain amount of followers. Your first goal should be streaming consistently. Because you're probably going to start with not a lot of people. Because, like, you're getting started. Nobody knows who you are. So you're going to have to get used to, like, being alone and talking into the void and stuff and being able to have fun on your own. And stuff. Even though I kind of suck at talking to myself, I could do an inner monologue. I could have a conversation with myself inside of my brain. But trying to vocalize that and bring that to light outside, that's hard. So sometimes I just sit in silence. And I know that could be a bit boring, but it's just like, it's hard for me to vocalize my thoughts without a direct reply. Because, and I think it's because of, like, partially due to trauma. Like, whenever I would talk about something that I really like and then I realize I'm the only one talking in the room. And I don't mind if somebody says that they're uninterested in stuff, but if you're sitting there in silence and then you're looking at me with a disgusted look on your face because you don't want to hear what I want to say, but then you're too much of a bitch to actually vocalize that, then yeah. But at the same time, it's like people are watching your stream because they want to hear what you have to say. Yeah, honestly, yeah, the move is just to get on and play like a Sonic game or something for me. Yeah. So just do that. Like, do make a post. Dog, being in a conversation and having actual thoughts but it only manifests in my brain is actually just GG's for me. Yeah. With me, it depends on the type of conversation it is. Sometimes I do have to vocalize my thoughts in order for them to come to light. It's just that yeah, because, like, I don't believe in awkward silences. Like, I will sit in silence and be comfortable with that silence. I will sit in a silence and be comfortable in said silence. I'm trying to put, like, I don't want to put too many beading details because I gotta color all of this shit. But I still want to like make it stand out somewhat. Oh, I don't worry about that because it's just like if you can't be comfortable while shutting the hell up, that's a personal, bro. Cause like I never like that idea of having to fill in the silence. Sometimes I just want to be, and sometimes I don't want to think. Plus, I have this habit where when I'm really concentrated, I get silent anyway because I'm not focusing on vocalizing. Like I don't want to say something without thinking, which is why I'd rather stay silent in certain situations. But after talking about like my fears and my gripes with media and stuff, I do want to talk about like I'm starting to talk about the things that I like a bit more instead of just complaining about things. Because like it's important for me to complain. I have been like people are asked, Jayla, why are you so negative about certain stuff, or why are you always bitching about something? I have a lot of pent up anger, and me complaining is me getting used to actually being able to vocalize my gripes with stuff because I have endured so much, and I haven't been able to really express my pain with certain things because I was too busy surviving to actually reflect on what the hell happens. But although it's important to get those emotions out, my ass just got used to managing other people's emotions in social situations. Yeah, we love trauma. But although it's very important to get those emotions out, it's also like important to like have something to hope for and to also focus on the things that brings you joy in life and stuff. So I try to talk about things that I like a little bit more, like more often. It also helps if somebody actually fucking listens because I do repost a lot of things that I like, or I voice my appreciation about things. But that doesn't get nearly as much attention as stuff as me like backbiting and shit. But that's a whole other discussion. It's mainly because of how the algorithm is set up. But my hopes for the future and my goals with my art, I want to experiment a little bit more with the medium. Like my art style is going to be relatively the same, but I want to draw more subject matter like creatures and stuff because I like culture and creature design, and I want to play a lot more with patterns. So I'm going to do some research on certain art movements like the ukiyo-e movement, which was done in Japan. Like for those who aren't aware of what ukiyo-e is, if you've seen the anime Mononoke, that's like the best example. Like those experimentation with patterns and like the ghostly depictions and stuff. That was very prominent in that time period. So I want to do some stuff sort of akin to that because like I really like patterns. It's why I wear a lot of the stuff that my cousins in both Nigeria and Ghana sent. Because I like to incorporate patterns into my clothes whenever I'm not like wearing a graphic tee. Um, it's why some of my favorite all-time cartoons is Chowder because of the way that they play with patterns and stuff. I like patterns. It looks nice. And I want to incorporate that more into my work. And I might experiment a little bit more with like texture and having more bold line work and stuff, because I do like the bold outline and the thin outlines on the inside, but I need to be a bit more consistent with that because I kind of been slacking up on my line work. Like, I've sort of gotten into a routine and I think I've gotten a little bit too comfortable with it. Because like on one hand, I love line work though. I remember having a stream and naming it I don't know about y'all, but I actually like doing line work. I love doing line work. Because, to me, the hardest part of drawing is the sketch phase. Because that's the planning stage. So I have to think critically. But when I do line work, I turn my brain off. Because I use vectors. And if I ever mess up a line, all I gotta do is just use the vector editing tools. So I literally do not have to care. Like, I don't understand why people... I understand why people struggle with line art. Because, like, they get so caught up in, like, copying the, reason why your line art most likely sucks, if you think that it sucks, is because you're not drawing the line work with the same looseness that you use for the sketching. Because you're trying to go directly over the lines with the sketch work instead of, like, using the sketch work as a guide. And then your line art brush might not have the exact same settings as your sketch brush, assuming that you're using two different brushes. So because they function differently, and because you're not drawing them with the same kind of hand, that's why it's asked. Oh, I don't dislike the sketching part and stuff. I just literally like line art more because like, I still think critically, right? But it takes a lot less effort, and as much as I love the planning stage, I get so caught up in planning that I don't even make the thing come to light. So, like, the line art means that I'm actually, like, following through. Let me put this in a different color so I could differentiate from the other one. But yeah, that's why I like line art more, because it's just like, if I'm at line art, then congratulations, I'm actually moving forward from this. Another reason why I like line art more is because sketching digitally is actually more difficult for me. Whenever I sketch, I prefer to do like sketches or ideation in my sketchbook traditionally. Like, even if I change my settings for even with changing the settings of my brushes within my digital thing, it doesn't feel the same. I plan and ideate in my sketchbook. I plan and ideate in my sketchbook. And then I do like the actual official sketch digitally, and then I do the line work and stuff. See, I need to add the knots on the dress. And then her dress base is done. I might not do the front and the back for this stream because I still have homework that I gotta finish. So I'll be leaving at about 10:45. It's 10:24 my time. But no, art goals. That's what I remember talking about. I want to draw more subject matter. And pretty much I want to draw more art that I want to see. Because, like, there's some art that I want to see and I'm not getting. And it's pissing me off. And I have to come to terms with the fact that sometimes you gotta be the one to do it. Because, like, I used to have this complex about being the first one to do something. Because, like, I'm black, and I grew up, and everybody and their mom knows that I'm black, but, like, I still have to reiterate for anybody who shows up and is new to this shit. I'm black, and although I grew up in mixed environments, there were times when I was, like, the only black one in the area. So I had to, like, pave the way with stuff. And I don't like doing that shit. Because, like, there's this pressure to perform. And there's always, like, and the most that you get is, like, a thank you for paving the way. But nobody really talks about, like, the trauma of the process of paving the way. Yeah, you could be like, I could just do that. And then, like, when I was talking about my complexes about art and not, like, whether or not my stuff matters or not because it doesn't fit the mainstream, it's like, shit, will anybody even give a fuck if I'm the only one making this? Because I want this thing. But it seems like nobody else wants this thing because they're not drawing it either. So there's, like, that anxiety of having to pave the way. And then there's that fear of nobody caring about what you have to put out because you're the only one putting it out there. And then it's also like, I already said that it's hard for me to create and stuff because I'm fucking tired. Like, physically tired because I have so much stuff to do. So it's just like, shit, I gotta make this thing, which means I have to take time. It is both empowering and also exhausting to be able to create the stuff that you want to do. Because on one hand, you could create it if you wanted and you're not seeing it. But on the other hand, you got to be the one to make it. And it's just like, damn. Somebody make something for me. Like, that's why I pray that I get financially stable, that I could get other people to draw art of me. Like, whenever somebody does fan art of me, I rejoice. One, because I'm so happy that people like my design, that they want to draw me, because, like, I hear so many compliments about my outfit design, and I'm so happy because, like, it took me about 8 tries to create this. Shout out to free time being taken up by recovery from the big C. Yeah, we really don't get to rest because usually that time resting is spent trying to prepare for the rest of the grind. You're not even resting. Like, when you do stuff on the weekends, you're not resting on the weekends. You're doing errands. And that's not normal. Or it shouldn't be normal. You know? Yeah, I don't think I hit a point where my body just, like, won't let me do anything for the first couple hours of wake up time. Yeah, like, whenever I wake up, I'm just contemplating life. Like, do I really want to get up? I did not go to class today physically. because I simply did not want to get up, and I also had other stuff to do, but I wasn't even able to do those things because I was too busy just getting to sleep, and I got to be careful about that. Because that's good to do sometimes, it's important to do sometimes, but you don't want to make it a habit. But yeah, I'm so ready for capitalism to be done. Like, I pray that people don't just stop at the strikes. Hey, Sylvia. Can't wait to be done with my current occupation so my ass doesn't have to deal with this in general. Yes! I can very much crash the VC right now, but that would be... No, it wouldn't! Nigga, I'm in that VC specifically so that people could crash it. Like, I've mainly been having conversations with myself and Popcorn about things. Because I thought that folks were going to pull up. But Pharaoh has COVID, so he ended up going to sleep early. And Mochi went to go take a shower, and I don't know where they are right now. See, I was gonna draw boots. I almost forgot what I was gonna do. Okay. Oh yeah, I love this update for Clip Studio Paint so much because now I can click on this grid thing instead of having to just press the arrows to cycle through a bunch of references, because sometimes I have like 30 references in this application. Wait, hold on. Actually, give me just one moment.
Hello.
Okay, I was about to ask. I'm like, are you in Royals? But hey, Zivia.
Hiya.
Shit, I gotta make you a PNG. Every time, I just realized.
We'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there.
We're still trying to. I'm still trying to figure out the design right now.
Cause like, I was just like, oh, I could have your PNG, and then I'm like, shit, damn it, I can't yet.
Not yet. Not quite yet.
She's still baby. She's still in the incubator. Yeah.
Yes, it is Popcorn. Hello.
Dang it, I forgot to turn the ruler back on. Do not forget to turn the ruler on. But I'm working on a character design sheet for a client. Shout out Basil. Thank you for being willing to give me money multiple times. I remember there was a post. It was just like, do y'all get upset when somebody constantly commissions you? And I'm like, no.
Why would you?
Like, I can understand to an extent, right, how you want to be able to draw other people, and it's just like if somebody is like dick writing your commission slots, it's just like, sir, please. But like, you could just literally make an announcement that you're going to prioritize first time clients instead of the repeats. Like, that's such an easy solution to have.
Or just like gently turn them down, like, hey, I got you next time.
Well, no, I would just make it a public announcement. Just to let other people know, because like, I don't want to like turn a specific person down, and then for you gotta save your own ass.
Yeah, fair enough, because some parasocial ass niggas be like, oh, so I guess you don't want my money no more. And it's like, no, it's just that
just not today.
Have somebody else.
Not today. But Pretty much, I was talking about art existentialism. Like, it's hard for me to care about a lot of things right now because I feel like a lot of things are shit or they remind me of things that I don't care about. And it's like, on one hand, I can create the stuff that I want to do, but then it's like, shit, why is it that I always gotta make the thing?
Because no one else will do it.
Yeah, but that's the frustrating part about it. Because it's just like, even if I put it out there, nobody's going to fucking care because I'm the only one who does. Someone likes my stuff enough to trust me with their things. My ass is not big enough for people to ask, period. That's the back. Exactly. Basil is my only consistent client, and I am thankful for him because he's really cool. He's a cool person in general. Like it's not just because he's a client, but because like he's very kind and stuff, and I like his ideas with world building. Now I kind of remember what I was talking about earlier, because this is what I mean by whenever I talk about certain subjects, I end up forgetting the previous subject because I find out something that's relatable to the thing that I'm talking about, and then we end up shifting. Because I was literally talking about this concept, how Basil and I was working on a Pathfinder character. Her name is Naya, and she's Kenyan coded. And that's what led me to talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, because I have a Jujutsu Kaisen OC who's Kenyan coded. Well, she is Kenyan. Sorry, my ass is just as bad. I cannot keep track.
Shit, I do need to ask Basil about that.
Oh, talking about the D&D group thing or something else? Yeah. And then I started talking about Jujutsu Kaisen instead of my fan fiction about Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I mentioned how Gege needs to step his pussy up when it comes to his writing because I'm tired of him. And I'm mad at him. It's just like, what do you mean people should focus more on Nanami, but then you did what you did? Bitch ass nigga. Like, do not have me meet a shonen writer because I'll shit on them, most likely. Depending on what franchise they worked on. Like, I will show the Noragami author some respect. You know, I don't know why. Actually, no, I do know why I drew Naya with toes. Because in case Basil wanted me to give her something other than boots, like, we agreed on boots, but I don't know. He's only writing with half his pussy, and he's complaining I can never. Exactly. He's just like, folks should focus on Nanami and stuff. Because he's a better character. And I agree, right? But, like, that would still require you to invest in them. You did, like, a whole sequence talking about Gojo's backstory and stuff. And how he turned into how he fully came into himself with the Honored One shit.
RA. I said I'll be right back. I think that's my RA.
Okay. Like, in order for people to have investment into your characters, it partially requires you to have investment in it. And I say partially because that it doesn't always work quite that way. Oftentimes I think of black women characters and people don't like them because obvious reasons, fucking racism. Shout out Mel from Arcane. Shout out Jessica Drew from Across the Spider-Verse. I didn't even give a fuck about Jessica. But people being anti-black towards her made me care about her, and I hate that. I hate that. I don't care about something. Yes, Arcane has black people. Echo! What the fuck? There's black people in League of Legends. Popcorn. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna have to make the Jon Snow joke with you and Zivia and like 3 other people. Cause it's just like, damn. Nigga, do you know something? I don't know anything. I just see the fan base and assume. See, you can't do that. You really can't. Because, like, okay, I've seen more racist people in diverse media.
We're back.
I've seen more racist people for fandoms of diverse media than I have with stuff that's exclusive. Because, like, you know what I said earlier about white gay people, how no matter how gay you are, you're still white, right? You see something that has queer media in there, and it attracts a lot of queer folks, but unfortunately a lot of them are white people who think that because they're LGBT that they don't have to, like, come to terms with racism. And that's where you see that racism about, and that's why I brought up Arcane and Across the Spider-Verse, because holy shit. Zivia, you already know how I can't stand the Across the Spider-Verse fandom, because, like, I did not care about Jessica, but they made me care, because as a black woman I have to have solidarity. I'm like, what we're not gonna do is hate her for non-existent reasons. Shouldn't be hating her at all. Like she was rude to Gwen, and I'm like, bitch, how are you a mentor and you about to have a baby and you talking to this baby like that? Sit down. Sit down. Sit all the way down, Jessica.
And then what also gets me is that she was the one that was practically pestering Miguel, like, hey, just bring her. And it's just like,
I wouldn't say pestering, because, like, he really should not be annoyed. This is a homeless teenager who almost got shot by her police officer dad. Like, he should not be pestered.
Well, it was before all that happened, but it was just like, he was like, yo, no, she has connections with Miles, that's why I don't want her here.
Yeah, but, like, here's the thing though, that's still his fault, and I say that it's his fault because, like, okay, you could have given her a place to stay without requiring her to work. Like, did anybody for 5 minutes consider that?
Put her on, just put her on the cafeteria line.
She doesn't even have to work. She's a fucking teenager. Just give her a place to stay. Like, I've been radicalized since I've been homeless. People should not have to work for a place to stay. I feel like that's part of the reason why Hobie got involved, because it's just like, why the fuck are they putting you on the team when they could just give you a place to stay? This is why when the Hole showed up and they were like, what is that? And Hobie was just like, it's a metaphor for capitalism. My mom looked at me, Hobie Brown, I don't believe in kinning characters because I think that's pathetic and you should go to counseling, but holy shit, if I were to kin somebody, that nigga is me! I'm him! Yeah, I can't stand any adult in Spider-Verse, but she was probably recently lost her husband. I don't know. I don't want to make that assumption. I don't want to make that assumption.
We don't know anything about that.
Because, like, I don't believe in, like, doing speculation to do the author's job for, because to me that's doing the author's job for them. They're gonna have to explain why she changed.
We're already raising more death flags that we really need to, because I've seen Gwen, I've seen Miguel, and I hate all of it, because it's like, why do we need to kill somebody just to, like...
That's not redeeming them. Some people just die. Like, I don't think... What I hate about people saying the death as redemption thing is that that's usually an idea pushed by the fans. Like, I don't consider somebody redeemed just because they died. And I don't even think that the creators do that. Like, I think that's literally just a fan creation just to have something to complain about. Because, like, I will never see Severus Snape, for example, as redeemed just because he died for Harry, because that nigga was always a bitch nigga and he will forever be a bitch nigga. He just died. He just did one good thing. I feel like fans, they see a character that's shitty do one good thing and they consider that redemption for some reason.
Like, the most that I've seen people say is Miguel or Gwen. And
they're not gonna kill Gwen. They're simply not.
And Rio, but that's mostly because...
As a subversion because of the comics.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna do that. Because, like, the difference between the movie makers... The difference between the movie makers and... Okay, I feel dumb. I'm doing the laces wrong. The difference between the comic makers and the movie makers is that they actually like Spider-Man. And not necessarily that they don't like writing him or anything, but, like, they like him as a person to not make him suffer.
That should not be as funny as it is. That's actually kind of sad.
Yeah, that's sad as hell. Cause like, there's this weird idea. Like, both Batman and Spider-Man writers have this weird thing that they can't be who they are if they aren't miserable, and that's why there's been so much shitty writing. That's fair. I'm basing it off like a minor line. My ass just went Matt Padma. Me, when I watched the FNAF movie, and he was just like, "It's just a theory." Do you know the large groan I let out in the middle of the theater? And then folks had the nerve to shoosh me when they were talking the whole time and getting up and down out of their seats. Like, I hated watching it in the theater, but my sister wanted to go watch it.
I'm not sure what you expect. It is mostly FNAF nerds there, man.
Well, no. There are like those kids that you see like skipping class to go smoke weed. Because it smelled dank when they walked in, and it's just like, nigga.
You say that like that's not a like that doesn't.
They're not mutually exclusive, but usually whenever I think of a FNAF nerd, I think of a white kid with autism. And it's not that they're the only ones, because like there's Corey, right? And it's like the average FNAF. Whenever you think about the composition of the FNAF fandom, you know that one meme of like the Knights of the Round Table and they're sticking their swords in?
Yes.
And it's like theory nerds, power scalers for some dumbass reason, true crime fans, autistics, furries, children, people with daddy issues. When you think of a stoner, my sister sent me a picture of them going out to watch it, and I called them nerds. My ass would be going to if I was there. Yeah, one thing that I was happy was that like it wasn't too dank. It wasn't too dank, and I'm trying to look at this lacing pattern because I know I'm doing some shit wrong.
I know the first two kind of like overlaps each other, not in the same way as the rest of the loops, but it kind of like bunches up.
Yeah.
If it's not like a straight line. And that's the main lace that I hate when I try to relace my shoes.
Actually, I'm fairly certain I got a damn lace brush. Hold on. I haven't organized. I have unfortunately
like
have not organized. Like straight up laced up. So all I gotta do is just do one line all the way down. I haven't organized all of my assets though yet. Like, look at all of this shit. I literally made a stream to make myself. No, because sometimes the brush I only need one time for like one specific piece, and then I forget to delete it, and that's where you get these problems.
There's like I was asking like you could make a whole section and folder for assets.
Yes. Yes. You gotta.
I was not aware of this.
Like, with any kind of program that has brushes and stuff, they got a section to organize stuff, because you'll fucking die without it. Like, that's so hard. Like, I'm eating McStruggles right now, which is why I made a stream to make myself organize my shit. I'm looking up the asset right now, because I know it exists. Okay, there's the shoelaces brush. Because, like, holy shit.
Shit, you sent it to my, my normal account. Damn.
Send what to your normal account?
The canvas replacement. Because I was going to look into it, since I'm not doing too much right now.
Mm-hmm. I'll find it again. Give me a minute.
I mean, I can... It's on your page, ain't it?
I don't think that I... No,
on your page?
Actually, no. Go into the Melanin Mafia and go into the text section, because that's how I found it.
Right. Right.
Did you join the Melanin Mafia yet?
Yes, you gave me the invite.
Oh, yeah, because I called you Cabbage.
Stop calling me Cabbage!
No!
Why must you call me Cabbage?
Because you are dear to me.
Yes, but that's
glad I care, nigga.
You can care about me without calling me Cabbage in public.
I'm not calling you Pookie.
Please don't call me
They're
Pookie in
spacing.
public.
Nigga, I don't even call you that in private.
Exactly.
See this brush? It's already saving my ass. It cut down so much labor. See, this is what technology should be used for, right? Now I just gotta find a way to control it better. Cause this looks finicky as hell. Hold on.
Ugh.
We're gonna use what's called a pro gamer move. Shit! I put on the wrong layer. I'm gonna cry.
Okay, hear me out. What if you did 2 separate strokes?
No.
Like one for the What do you mean no?
2 separate strokes, like one for each boot?
No, I'm saying like do the top because where the bottom is where you're screwing up a little bit. Like do 2 separate strokes, one for the top, and then go through the rest at the bottom.
I'm not even gonna do that. I'm just gonna use the selection tool, and I'm gonna change the positioning of it and change the scaling.
Okay.
Actually, I should use a vector layer instead of a raster layer, because I'll get to change the positioning of it. Like, it's a good idea, but it's not going to work for me. I should make the laces just a little bit wider.
Damn, they don't have a schedule template. Okay, well.
Remember what is my template not good enough?
It's on Canvas now, isn't it?
Yeah, but like, nigga, you could just download it as a PNG, lower the opacity, and trace whatever you need over it. Because that's what I did. Because Canva doesn't really have a scheduled template either. I was just I literally looked at other,
Either way, I still can't access it without leaving the call because I'm on my desktop app right now.
Rest in peace.
Because I switched account. Because, like hell, am I going to try and do this through the Discord web browser?
I did. Sometimes, whenever I'm desperate.
See, I like having the stability of the desktop app.
Like, okay, I do voice call in the desktop app, but when I just need to access a link real quick.
Oh, well, yeah, I definitely have that. And on a tab. I'm talking about like VC.
Yeah. I'm gonna make these damn brushes work. Because this is brilliant, and I really do not want to draw all of that.
Also, since I don't know what you've been doing for the past 2 hours. Do it, ho.
I did drink.
Do it again.
Okay, shit. But you won't do the outfit toggle. Like, please
Outfit
use
toggle?
my outfit toggles. Like, I put work into that.
Well, I've already done the glasses off and the hat off. Well, Plush did the hat off for me, but...
Do it again.
Fine.
I should have put more hoopla around it.
Take them off. Bitch.
You so mean.
Oh, you can bully me whenever you want, but when I do it...
Exactly.
When I do it, it's a problem.
It's giving Nima and Bakura. Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
But when I do it, it's a problem.
There is no equivalent exchange.
Shush, popcorn. We about to make this shit. Shade. There's about to be, there's supposed to be some sort of conversion here.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Across the Spider-Verse, I know that Zarantha is based off of Miguel, but every time I think about that, or that he's based off of Ramatra, I'm like,
That is where it started.
Yeah, I know that's where it started. It just pains me so. Because sometimes I think internally, stand up, Twilight.
Not like you care. You don't even like the nigga anyway.
Well, it's not that I dislike him, I dislike what he stands for.
Still don't like the nigga.
That's not him, though. It's not him. It's what he symbolizes. I sound like Lex Luthor, but I swear to God. I sound like Lex Luthor, but I swear to God.
In what sense do you mean by this?
How people can't engage with media for 5 minutes without their crotch. How people can't like a character who's quote-unquote problematic without making excuses. The fact that this nigga is objectively worse than Jessica, but people are literally riding his dick simply because they're anti-black. The fact that there's so much unlimited content of this nigga and yet I could barely find any noir shit. Yes, I am salty about that. It's not him.
Okay, that part
it's not
I can't
him.
control.
But like the culture surrounding him, I hate it. Like I hold him in a similar regard to Ghetto Suguru, but at least I can respect where Miguel is coming from. Fucking Ghetto with an H and 2 T's is literally worse. And I'm trying to keep the amount of rants about that nigga on stream really down because like I've talked about it a couple of times and I need to calm down, but holy shit.
I have mostly curated my experience with Miguel.
I can curate my experience, but here's the thing, not everybody tags their stuff.
Fair enough. It's the only thing that I don't like is the whole thing. Yeah, that part too.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing that. Yes, I know it was not the best move for him to do. Like, I'm tired of hearing that, and I'm tired of that being the main thing that's being held against him. Like, can you pick anything else?
Well, there's really nothing else to pick, and I think that it's sufficient enough because trauma dumping on a child and getting mad at somebody for wanting to not be miserable as Spider-Man, like, that is a easy to dislike position, and I think that's literally the point. And then also considering the racial undertones of it, not necessarily with Miguel himself, but like Across the Spider-Verse is very much commentary on like Miles being rejected by audiences and stuff due to his blackness, and also because like he's a Spider-Man who isn't miserable because this nigga has both of his parents. He has both of his parents. But there's like an article about Across the Spider-Verse and the element of black solidarity and conditional allyship. I don't know about you, Zivia, but like there is a general consensus of discomfort with seeing Miles get brutalized on screen like that, and seeing both Gwen and Peter.
Don't get me wrong. That part was hard to watch. It's just that I'm tired of hearing that be the main argument.
Well,
that's it.
That is the argument, though. Like, to me, if the argument isn't justified, then yeah, I'll shit on it, right? But like with Miguel, that is the argument. I just think that I wish that people would get like, okay, my issue is like the racism jokes.
That too. It did get a bit too far after a while. It was funny in the first few It was funny in the first few weeks, but then once it was like, haha, Miguel is racist, and it's like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah,
like when people started to actually believe that, like, is that in the vampire jokes? That's the like when you actually people actually started to believe that. Like people are like, oh, he's not actually Spider-Man, he's more Lun. I'm like,
no,
nigga,
he is Spider-Man.
You just took a whole different entity and say that's the same nigga. Like, what the fuck?
Like they're just. I feel like that's like an extension of like theorists pulling shit out the ass, and then with the racism, like my issue not only is that it's repetitive, but it's uncreative. Like it peaked when I said that the Irish part of him was rejoicing, because only I can come up with something as awesome as that, and unfortunately, not many people are as awesome as I am. It's unfortunate. But no, like, just having Miguel and it's a long string of slurs, it's like, shut up.
Okay, now you're just doing too much, like...
Just shut up, like, it's just slurs. Where's the punchline? Aside from your existence, like... I hate how humor has devolved to just slurs. And that's it.
Like, That's part of what one of my posts was, where it was like, I need to like disengage whenever I see these sort of posts, because that's like outside of what I actually curate, that's most of what I see when I interact with Spider-Verse. Like, I'm tired.
I'm so tired, and then I'm also tired of anti-blackness. That's what I was talking about.
Like
how
the
you see
Miguel-
the most racism in not talking about. I'm no longer talking about Miguel's characterization, but like the anti-blackness in the fandom, like how they masculinize Hobie to ship him with Pavita and stuff, even though like Hobie is more gender non-conforming than Pavita, but you know they wanted to do that Mandingo shit and do the Oriental stuff with Pavita by feminizing him. What do you mean an Indian boy is wearing Lululemon? And it's not that it's impossible, because like a lot of the boys that I know at my college in the Midwest, yeah, they would wear Lululemon, but like this dude actually grew up in India. He's not wearing Lululemon. I'm sorry. Like, what do you mean you're Americanizing him and then you're making him into like a stereotypical femboy for Orientalist tropes?
that
You're demonizing.
why must you feminize one dude to ship with another dude? Like, why?
And then what also gets on my nerves, like this is why I say no matter how gay you are, you're still white, because like queer white people would talk about how straight relationships are boring and stuff, but then a lot of the ways that they write queer relationships are still very rooted in like Eurocentric standards and stuff. Like, you are not defying the status quo just by having two people of the same gender date, because you're still hashing a lot of tired racist tropes. Like, you're no profound in the straight people that you say are boring, even though you're doing the same repetitive racist shit. I'm so tired of it.
And I feel like, I know it's been a long time, but media literacy, like, why the fuck are people out here still saying that Miguel is a villain? No. Like, they're saying all the wrong people are villains, or like
they either say villain or they'll say some shit like anti-hero when he's not even an anti-hero. He's not. Like, he is just an antagonist, because like an anti-hero is somebody who's a hero but does unconventional stuff, right? Miguel cannot be an anti-hero because technically his standard is the standard quo, is the status quo of what heroism is. Like, that idea that you have to sacrifice to be a hero, not only does that fit in line with traditional heroic tropes, because like what literally defines a hero is the stuff that they're willing to do in order to protect the community and stuff, but that level of sacrifice is so heavily normalized. He's not an anti-hero. He's very conventional. He may be overzealous in his ideology, but he's still very much in line with that archetype. He's just an antagonist.
Yet people are making him out to be a villain because of what he's done, what he's doing to Miles, and it's like, do y'all not know what an antagonist is?
It's because nobody likes using the word antagonist. Like, nobody likes using that word, whether it's for a character that they like or not. Whenever somebody has a sympathetic point, they call the villain, they're like, they call a sympathetic villain an anti-hero just because they do one good thing. Nobody likes to use the word villain, or if they do, it's like one of those
out here saying, sorry.
If they do, it's like a manhwa where it's like, I'm the villainess, and it's just a woman who like sets boundaries and is demonized for it.
Like, I've seen people out here calling Chris fucking McClane an anti-hero. I'm like, media literacy is more dead than it's ever been. Like, what the fuck?
Shit, it's gotten to the point where I block the word media literacy, because every time I hear somebody talk about, they use it to like justify really heinous tropes. Like, media literacy is dead. Why is it that people have a problem with me writing about lollies? And it's just like, kill yourself. Like, it's always some pro shipper using the words media literacy, and it's just like there was a post that I literally just liked and reposted a couple of minutes ago about like hypersexuality being a hypersexuality and chastity culture being two sides of the same coin, because both of them are like very representative of unhealthy relationships and standards with sex and sexual expression. And it kind of summarizes my gripes with stuff like with certain types of fiction, because people think that being sexual in of itself is progressive and not necessarily how you treat sex. Because I was talking to my counselor, and we were just talking about film, because she was asking about my interests and stuff, and I was talking about horror and my horror opinions and stuff. I have a mixed relationship with slasher, right? Because like I can respect slasher films due to the practical effects and stuff. Like I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it's a really good example of daytime horror. I wish that there was more horror that happened in the daytime, because I think that's really cool. Because like, if you can make something spooky in the daytime when the dark is like the easiest way to be scary, well, there you go. You did something. Hold on.
And it's not necessarily a slasher film, but I think the one movie that's managed to genuinely fuck me up in terms of horror was Mirrors. I was scared of Mirrors for like a good week after that damn movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fair to be fair to myself, I was like in a high school, middle school, but it was, I don't know, just the way that they played like most of the kills, and the fact that all it took was one look in the mirror. Like, you don't even have to take eye contact. It's like, just look and that motherfucker has you. That shit scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. But using a simple household object, it's
and
great.
And there was a bunch of mirrors in my house too, so I'm like, I am not looking into that shit for the next week. What the fuck?
Then I wouldn't suggest you watching the newest Candyman movie, because they actually, I remember Studio Binder, which is this page that I follow that does you know, a lot of film analysis, and they talk about certain techniques of how to get certain emotional effects, right? And they talked about how the newest Candyman movie, directed by Nia DaCosta, subverted some of those mirror tropes in order to create something more terrifying. I really like how terrifying the newest Candyman was. I just wish that it was a mini series instead of a movie, because like, you can't introduce this concept that Candyman is actually multiple mantles holders and be like, okay guys. Like, that made me mad as hell. I'm like, what do you mean y'all just gonna say that shit and leave it at that? Because like, to me, I think it would have been more emotionally impactful if we actually got to know the mantle holders. The slogan "Say Their Names" matters, because, you know, people often put the killer on the pedestal and not the victims and stuff. How we know the names of folks like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and shit, but we don't know the names of their victims. But like, the reason why the slogan "Say Their Names" matters in the terms of like Black Lives Matters and stuff with Breonna Taylor and Trayvon Martin is that there's like record of who they are. Their family members and their neighbors and stuff posted pictures of them, talked about their life before and after, because it's one thing to know somebody's name, but it's another thing to know the context of that name and stuff. Just saying their names in the Candyman movie, when that's all we have about them, really does nothing. Because the only Candyman that we really know and care about by extension, because we know, are Daniel, Anthony, and Sherman. Because Daniel is the original one. Anthony is the new guy. He's played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen. And Sherman was like the mantle holder in between them. He was like right before Anthony. But that's my feeling on it. Now, when it comes to slasher movies, what I was talking about, people thinking that having sex on its own is like progressive or whatever, when really that is not the fucking case. Oh, popcorn is in an ad.
Yeah, I just got out not too long ago. Well, I mean, I have you in real time now, but it's like,
Yeah.
damn.
Let me know when the ad ends, because I accidentally X'd out the ad just so I could see the message, because I couldn't see. I gotta remember to open up my stream management in another, on my phone, so I can see the chat in real time.
I don't know if my Wi-Fi at my school is just ass, or you're just ever so slightly behind me in terms of stream.
Oh, that'll do it. It's not necessarily the thing. Like me talking to you in VC and the stream actually picking it up and doing it. It's not going to be at the same time. It's never at the same time.
So weird. I mean, I'm seeing your progress, but it's just like I'm technically not seeing it in real time, and it's like I hate it here.
Mm-hmm. Rest in peace. But it's done.
Yeah.
What I was talking about earlier was the concept that being sexual in of its own is defying the status quo, but really that's not the case. It's about how sex is presented and stuff. Like, it does not matter if you're horny, if you're still like supporting the same archaic values of like entitlement to people's bodies, or you're not respecting boundaries and stuff. And I bring up slasher as an example of this because people often like to put slasher movies on a pedestal for quote unquote breaking the status quo, because like, for context, slasher movies didn't start coming out until about the 70s, and this was after that, what's on this layer? There's nothing on this layer. This was after the death of JFK, and when a lot of media started to be censored, because they were like, oh, we realized that there's too much, like, sex and violence and stuff, and that led to a dead president. Or whatever. And,
And work.
And yeah, and that's when comics started to censor themselves and stuff. That's why you get the Silver Age Batman and whatnot with Adam West. How instead of like killing somebody, because Batman used to kill in the Golden Age, he did not care, but now he's out pranking the Joker instead of trying to kill him. But that's where you get a lot of sanitized stuff. And when Slasher came out,
is this how the video games or violence thing started?
No.
No?
This was after that. I think it was the first Mortal Kombat game that came out in like the 80s that led to the creation of the rating system that we now have. And that's different. Like, I think that's like an extension of Satanic Panic started after the Civil Rights Movement. Yeah, I think it was after the Civil Rights Movement, because like there's a lot of layers to this, right? So let me see how to sequence this. You know how during World War II the Nazis were quick to call things degenerate and stuff, and that was pretty much just a dog whistle for minority stuff, because they were like, classical music is superior, but look at all of these blackies doing things. And so there was that. And Satanic Panic is simply just is literally just that ideology, but using Christian aesthetics, because of course Nazism is unpopular at the time, so they had to use something else. And since the vast majority of Americans are Christian, then you end up reaching a larger audience. Kind of log brush, I'm probably going to use this one. You end up reaching a larger audience by using those aesthetics and stuff. So talking about the censorship of video games to the hatred of D&D and stuff like that, that's an extension of the Satanic Panic thing.
Why is D&D hated?
Well, they do have hell in it. And tieflings.
Oh, right, the tieflings.
But even without that, the simple act of having magic that isn't of God automatically makes it satanic.
Clerics in the game! This is before the creation of clerics.
Yeah, but like clerics aren't, like, even though clerics use Catholic aesthetics and stuff, I would not consider D&D clerics that, like, a lot of media may use Christian aesthetics, but like there's very few media that actually feels Christian in a sense. I consider the game Blasphemous more Christian than a fucking cleric in D&D, because Blasphemous is taking direct inspiration not just from the source material, but it actually incorporates a lot of Spanish Catholic folklore in there. Because like D&D is like one of the worst places to look at for cultural representation or anything, because of how it co-ops culture and then creates something that bastardizes it for very tired and orientalist tropes. And this is coming from somebody who likes D&D. Like, D&D is fun and stuff, but when it comes to like cultural shit, I will never use that as a reference for anything. I refuse.
Gonna stay that Pokemon.
What about Pokemon?
Pokemon?
Should have got rid of Harry Potter anyways. Honestly, yeah. Like, it's so funny how Harry Potter used to be burned. Like, there used to be book burnings of Harry Potter, and now J.K. Rowling has teamed up with the very people who would burn her shit because she hates trans people that much. Like, it's so pathetic. But yeah, Pokemon was also considered that because of the yokai inspirations and stuff. Because like I say, Satanic Panic is an extension of Nazi ideology that treats minority stuff as degenerate and whatnot. And because Pokemon is Japanese, you know, it's not white, it's gonna be crapped on. But what was I talking about before? Oh yeah, how slasher came to be. The first slasher movie that came out was A Bay of Blood, and this was, mind you, this was during the 70s, and the 70s was like very raunchy and stuff. Like, the 70s was considered a golden age of pornography, because this was during a time where you could be a director or a scriptwriter or a cinematographer and actually make an Academy Award, get an Academy Award for doing porn. And it's also really garbage, because like, while these directors and cinematographers can be able to get accolades and awards off of this stuff, none of the porn stars were able to get stuff like that. Side bangs. I'm gonna make this thicker. And stuff. It was always people behind the screen, but not the folks whose labor was actually being exploited. Which is why I'm the way that I am when it comes to like being raunchy and stuff. To me, it does not matter that more people are able to make pornography into a lucrative business, when the reason why, like, to me, that's not progress, because as long as sex work remains criminalized and as long as our labor continues to be exploited in general, it's not really something to go home about. Because like, people are like, yeah, sex work is empowering, and it's just like, sex work is literally illegal, and the only reason why you're able to do it as like a cam girl or a streamer or whatever is because according to the First Amendment, because of the First Amendment, pornography is regarded as a creative depiction. So you could do sex work as long as it's film. But the reason why that's bad is because it's forcing people to have an audience just so that their work can be legitimized. And I think that's bad, because I'm not an exhibitionist, and I shouldn't have to share my business just so I can guarantee that I could do my job without going to jail. And I'm not even a sex worker, but it's just like, in the hypothetical of it, people should be able to choose whether they want an audience or not. And I feel like that's where the sex positivity movement has sort of failed, because it's put such a emphasis on sexual performance instead of addressing material conditions that makes these jobs so shitty. Because people are like, well, why are people saying that sex work is dehumanizing and then they work in fast food? But it's just like, if you're a fast food worker and you have that on your resume, right? somebody isn't going to deny you a job because of the shame of being a fast food worker, because there isn't a stigma, a stigma like that. Like, okay, there is a stigma against fast food workers, right? Because it's considered low bar work, but there isn't a moral stigma to it. People won't consider you a terrible person for being a fry cook. But like, sex workers are so heavily dehumanized that whenever they try to go into another field, it's really hard for them to enter it, especially in the US, because there's like a extensive history of doing that in order to there's an extensive history of doing that in order to justify the mistreatment and stuff that largely minority women go through. Like, this is a decades long campaign and nobody wants to talk about that because they think that, oh, if I like brag about masturbating and stuff, then I'm better than my bigoted parents. But then you're not even talking about like the working conditions that really do that. Although there are exceptions to it. Like, one example is Amber Rose, who invented the slut walk because it's a annual march that's made to actually bring awareness about stuff with sex work and trying to legalize, well, not legalize, decriminalize, because there's a difference. Like, decriminalize simply means that you won't go to jail for doing it. Legalize means that you won't go to jail for doing it, but it's under specific allowed parameters. Like, an example is like the legalization of weed. Like, legalizing weed could be you won't go to jail for using it, but it has to be medicinal. Versus decriminalization, it's just like you won't go to jail for using it no matter how you do it, right? And people are advocating for decriminalization instead of legalization because by not having those specific parameters and stuff, not only does it make the job more accessible, but it also allows protection for the people who do it. Because like, due to it being criminalized, it's harder for somebody to report if they get mistreated and stuff, because they have to choose between, excuse me, the person hurting them going to jail and them themselves going to jail, because technically what they're doing is illegal. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But now, I shit on sex positivity as a quote-unquote movement because it has prioritized sexual performance instead of like dismantling the system that makes it unsafe and stuff. And that's why everybody is like openly horny, but like everybody's openly horny, but there's still large scale exploitation going on. Sorry about that long rant, but like, I had to break it down and stuff. And that's my feelings when it comes to slasher, because like, slasher is put on a pedestal for quote unquote defying the status quo, because of course it was defying the status quo because of the censorship and stuff, but like, the way that they use sex and violence to dehumanize minorities is really gross to me. Like you know that one trope about the black person being the first to die, or like the extensive history of ableism and stuff when it comes to certain villains, like the Wrong Turn franchise.
Seen one of those movies.
One of those what?
I wasn't paying attention. I seen one of the Wrong Turn movies, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah. But like the whole inbred hillbilly thing, like there's an extensive, and it's very ableist. And it's also very classist. Like, the reason you want to know the origin of redneck was like a slur that was used to make fun of Appalachian people who unionize, because they were called rednecks because they lived in the Rust Belt. They lived in the Rust Belt, you know, that region of the U.S. that had a lot of factories for automation and stuff. And because they unionized and they were they were called rednecks for that, and because they were like communists and stuff, because they were forming unions and stuff, so to shit on them. So they started to come up with these like rumors of like poor people being inbred and all this other kind of stuff, even though that's more common amongst rich people because of like the whole pure blood thing.
Let's see.
This is coming together well. I feel like Kronk. Ah, yes. It's all coming together.
Oh my fucking god.
Rich people and projecting is just an insane iconic duo. Yeah! But yeah, that's why I feel the way about Slasher. Like, being horny doesn't mean anything when you're still, like, perpetuating harmful narratives that make sex unfun because we gotta deal with these systemic issues. Being horny is an activism. It's how you be horny, you know. Like, you're a dom, but do you believe that women can be doms too? Because holy shit, is that a common problem in BDSM spaces? Like, there are so many traditionalists that literally have an issue with like women being doms. They even have a bigger issue with switches.
Why?
Because you're defying hierarchy and stuff by wanting to. How can you have a hierarchy when? Give me a moment. Sometimes it's hard for me to think while I'm trying to formulate. Hair is difficult for me. How are you gonna hierarchy if you're switching back and forth? Like, how can you get your sub to respect you if you're relinquishing control sometimes? And it's just like, are you stupid?
Do you want to break the fuck?
It also doesn't help that a lot of people who are into BDSM get into it through 50 Shades of Grey. Like, I literally got an argument with my supervisor at my last job over this shit. And then how she had the nerve to bring up her English degree to talk about it. Like, bitch, I don't care about your English degree, especially since you're using it to define shitty media, especially since I'm literally a film major. She ought to be glad I didn't play it at that game. I was just too tired. I was literally too tired because I'm like, I'm not going to argue with middle-aged white women about the shitty media that they like. I'm sorry. Like, I refuse. Because that's usually the people who like it. Because it was her and somebody else. And I'm like, bitch, I didn't ask. I said that the movie was ass and I left it at that. And imagine taking offense to that when it's 50 Shades of Grey. Like, it's nothing to defend. Like, abuse aside, it's just lame. Like, I'm so tired. This is what I say about, like, being tired of media with certain things and how some stuff is not made for me and how it's hard to find things that I like. And it feels like you're the only one who cares about it. Like, I want to see femdom stuff that isn't pegging. Because, like, I don't understand how BDSM folks can call themselves progressive, but then they think that the only way to be dominant, to express dominance, is through penetration. Like, to me, I feel like that's very misogynistic. It's misogynistic to me because, like, associating being penetrated with submission, that should not be the standard. It's one thing if you like it personally for yourself, like that's how you personally express it, but that should not be the standard because that's very much rooted in those narratives. And then, of course, race play. Like, the fact that race play exists is why that I'm is part of the reason why I'm the way that I am about this idea that being horny. I don't like it. How do you draw locks?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Nigga, I'm not asking you. It's a rhetorical question. That means you internalize and think about it yourself. You don't have to say anything. You're still loved. You don't have to explain yourself. I'm just in agony right now. I'm gonna put the bun behind it. That's gonna help. Yeah, that looks so much better. I'm not gonna do those side thingies though. I think that's part of the problem. Like, I'm just gonna have it a up-down do. And it's gonna look better that way because, like, trying to draw it looping around, it does not look right. And it's bothering me. Like, this is an affront to human rights. Also, once I add some edges to it, that's gonna help. It's gonna help so much. But no, be horny, but like be horny responsibly and be better. Like, don't be lame. Another thing that I was talking about, lameness and stuff, like, I feel like a lot of sapphic art, like, Zibby, I've told you that a lot of sapphic art bores me because it's just like, why is the dark skinned one always the masculine one? That's why I made that one post. I'm like, sapphic artists, can you make the dark skinned one the feminine one for once? Like, can you not making her the man in the group? Or are you just that devoid of creativity? This is another reason why I made Nima the way that I am, the way that she is. Like, she's partially the way that I am, because I'm like, holy shit. And like, even with Belmona and damn it, did I get to name her girlfriend yet? I don't think I did.
So?
I don't think I did. Like, I know what she is. She's a mortician. She's a goth mortician, and that's all I know about this woman. But
something just hit me and I felt so damn stupid.
What? What hit you?
Cause you said a goth mortician, and I just thought of fucking yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's where her name comes from. I can't believe that it took me this many years of my life to understand that.
Oh my god. Now, one thing that I am like interested to know, because one thing that I don't understand is what the hell is Pugsley? Like, I wonder if it's like a play on like his size or something, because that's one thing that I still don't know. Like, fester, it means to rot.
I think that's an actual like word.
Yeah, but what does it stand for? Let me look that up.
Pugsley meaning
means woodland clearing. Let me do, instead of name meaning, namesake. Like, why is he named that? Is there any trivia on it on the wiki? Character was given names for the television series. He was originally going to be called Pubert, a oh, that's the little brother, though. A derivation of the word puberty, possibly a reflection of his age, but it was rejected as it sounded too sexual, and the name Pugsley was chosen instead. The name Pubert was later used when Gomez and Morticia have a third child in the film Addams Family Values. The Lurch files Addams family tree lists Pugsley's middle name as Pubert, probably as a homage to Charles Addams' original subject. So there
is no meaning to this.
There's no meaning, which is kind of sad. Cause like Wednesday is her name, cause unlucky day.
I thought
mortician. Fester means to rot.
I thought that Pugsley was kind of like, you know, just another way to say, like, large.
Yeah.
In the body.
That's what I thought.
I thought that's what that meant, but I guess not.
Apparently not. Rest in peace. Okay, this looks so much better. I like this, and then I'll like add some little wispies at the end, and then I'll...
Oh, it's because it sounds similar to Pudgy.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, they could have lied and said that. I would have believed them.
We all would have believed them.
We all would have believed them. But yeah, even with Belmona and not Morticia.
Not Morticia.
Belmona is very high femme. and stuff. I will draw like some masculine, sapphic, darker skinned women because like I'm one of the things that I plan to draw by the end of the year is like because I think it was me and Iris and we had a conversation about how studs only have 3 types of haircuts. Like I love them. I love studs because like I grew up around studs and the ones that I grew up around were like so kind and stuff. But like holy shit, they only have 3 types of hairstyles. Like it's only a fade, locks with an undercut, and cornrows. Like that's pretty much it. Or sometimes
I met some that were just regular locks, no fade.
Regular locks, no fade. But like those are like the signatures. Like what I'm going to do is make a meme where you know the Pokemon starter pack.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do a choose your fighter type of shit, but that also works.
That also works, but like the Pokemon thing would be a little bit cuter because I'm gonna draw them as chibis. So it's gonna be a stud.
Imagine if you get like negative feedback, like, oh, it's always just strays that be making these type of memes, and like,
I'm
bitch,
bi. I don't think that a straight person would make this kind of meme unless they're like a black dude who's friends with studs. Like I feel like a specific brand of straight person would make that meme.
Exactly.
Also, I feel like only somebody white would say something like that because black people, even though with the black community having its own issues with homophobia and stuff, because so much of queer culture is heavily rooted in like black Americans, because like we specifically American queer culture being so rooted in like black culture and stuff, because black people are the blueprint for stuff regardless of what we are. Like I feel like only a non-black queer person would have something to say, and it's just like, bitch, you're not familiar with the culture. I grew up around this. So I kind of hate it whenever non-black people try to use homophobia within the community as a gotcha, especially if they're white, because like I've had these conversations before. If you're a European, I already don't value your opinion. I don't want to be like that, but at the same time, like when it's a negative opinion.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying I'm just reminded of how many times I got indirectly hit with said homophobia. Because, like, I'm already not
you're a black
gender
woman.
conforming. Well, I'm a black woman on top of not being completely gender conforming. Because I'm a tomboy.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you want to be a boy, or are you gay, or...
Although with the tomboy thing... Zivia, you wear pants. And you don't wear makeup. Like, I feel like when it comes to the spectrum of tomboyishness... Like, I feel like when it comes to black communities, we do have a hyper fixation on gender conformity because, you know, that's like a defense mechanism and it's still sad, right? But, like, you know that one tweet that's like, this is how much butch Twitter can handle before things get dangerous or something?
I think.
You are in that category. Well, you are adjacent to that category because usually whenever they post that picture, it's like somebody who's actually very feminine, and the only difference is that she wears pants. Because it's just, you wear pants and you don't wear makeup or accessories all the time unless it's like a beanie. And I pray.
I've done caps. I've done boater hats not boater hats. It's shit. I know what bucket hats.
Bucket hats.
Bucket hats as of recently. Right now I'm wearing like this headband that my grandmother made me to keep my ears warm. Like I did like my current outfit right now, because I haven't changed out yet, but like my current outfit is like a tracksuit, said band, and like a t-shirt and sneakers. Well, I took off the sneakers, but yeah, that was like my outfit for today. And Like, I've been complimented for it, but it was just like, yeah, that's it. I don't know, because I have been mistaken for a boy many times before.
Yeah.
Not that it bothers me, but it's also just like, I've been asked if I wanted to be a boy, if I'm gay. I've been mistaken to be bi multiple times just because of my personality alone. So it's just like I said, I've been indirectly hit with this.
Yeah. So it's also like, and that's why I can't stand about like some standards when it comes to like queer performance and stuff. Like, there's this idea that straight people can't have queer experiences. Because I remember, like, you know that I watched Drag Race. And season 14 was the year that we had the first cishet contestant, Maddie Morphosis.
Maddie. Yeah, Maddie.
And I love Maddie. I'm biased because she's from the same state as I am. But I also genuinely like her humor and stuff. And, like, so many people had a fucking attitude about it. Because it's just like, oh, we invited... Y'all are now inviting straight people before you invite drag kings and stuff. And I'm like, that's not Maddie's fault, though. And it's not Maddie's fault. Like, her signing up to be on the show is not her fault because the show is asking for drag queens or just drag performers. That's a problem with production, and that is a genuine problem. Like, the production has had a huge issue with, like, misogyny and lesbophobia and stuff, and that is a valid concern to have, but, like, to put that shit on Maddie and stuff is really dumb. And it's very clear that Drag Race has become a show for people who don't do drag but then have everything to say about the field even though they know nothing about the culture, because there's plenty of cishet performers in there, because drag isn't exclusively queer. It's very queer friendly and stuff, because like the whole aspect of it is gender performance and gender satire, but it's not exclusive to us because there's like different art forms that were precursors to drag, like Shakespearean theater and kabuki theater and stuff that gave way to that.
I've actually played a boy in a play before.
Yeah. And like
it was a Midsummer's Night's Dream, actually.
Well, yeah, there you go. And there's also like the whole thing about the standards and stuff cause cishet people to struggle, especially if you're a person of color, because gender standards are very much Eurocentric, and by not being white, you automatically disqualify yourself from full access to manliness or full access to femininity. And that's where I talked about like black people's hyperfixation on gender performance and stuff. Oh, a white person isn't going to care, but a black person is definitely going to push those standards, because like this is how we've survived. We have to put in way more effort to be seen as women than a white woman who walks out the house with some sweats.
Venus and Serena are still facing this shit, and I think Serena just recently retired and she's still catching strays.
And it's also because I can't remember if it was Venus or Serena that married a white dude, so they're gonna get yelled at even more, which is fucking stupid, because there's plenty of black athletes that could have reached out, but y'all were too busy calling them men. So why would they get with you? Like, why? We literally get told by our own men that we aren't wanted and stuff, and then there's an attitude when we go out. And people are like, well, black women be bitter about it. And it was just like, yeah, we would be bitter about it if we're constantly told that we're obligated to get with a black man to preserve the bloodline, and then we get told by dudes who would be mistaken for the alley if they stood next to a building that they don't play in the dirt. Like, yeah, we'll be bitter about it. I'm not bitter. I'm angry. I'm like Helen from Diary of a Mad Black Woman. How, what was his name? Orlando. And how he's just like, see, this is why I don't be bothered with black women. And I'm like, yo, light bright ass needs to shut up. First of all, yo, star bright. Madonna
I hate
ass.
that one time I actually said that to Hector.
No,
I genuinely said that to Hector once.
It's justified. I don't know what he did, but it's justified.
I literally said, Hector, I know your light bright ass ain't talking.
Dominican. But let me stop.
But
sometimes I would just say Dominican. Just every time you say I'm Dominican, I was like Dominican.
But a part of that, like it's like adjacent, but I know it's probably rooted in that vein. But one of the things that I kind of hate about being a tomboy is that because I can relate to a lot of the niggas I end up being friends with, I kind of get taken off the market as like a possible love interest, because like at that point, since I've known them for so long, they just see me as one of the guys. And because of that, it kind of like, I don't think I would want to date her because, you know, we're really close like that, and I don't think she'd like me that way. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like that's part of it, because it's like I don't know how many times I've probably not known that a nigga likes me because of that, or guys just straight up don't even think about me because it's like, oh yeah, that's a good friend of mine, that's my homie, that's my homegirl.
Hold on, I got confused about layers. Give me a moment. Sorry. Like, I'm listening, but I got lost, and I'm like, shit, I can't find it. Okay, now I'm good.
Oh, wait, do I need to restart anywhere?
No, it's good. You were talking about how being seen as one of the guys may have disqualified you from certain romantic relationships, and to me, I say screw them, because they should have been man enough to say that they want something. Like,
no, it's because since they've treated me as one of the guys, it's like much like their male friends, is like, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's so still like, on them. That's still on them, because you're still a woman, number one, and number two, there's like this huge issue where dudes are quick to complain about I'm talking about how men, and this isn't like all men, right, but this is a cultural issue, and this is all too common of a problem, how men bitch about being in the friend zone, right, but then they complain about how they can't be friendly with their partners and stuff. You being quote unquote one of the guys shouldn't be a fucking problem if you actually cared about female companionship.
And so I think that would actually be a damn good catch, because like, damn, I understand you as a guy, because I'm very heavily into quote unquote guy shit. I understand how, oh, you can't just pause the game. I understand how you would want to like play with your guys for a bit. Like, I understand all that shit.
I wouldn't say that that's really a play into things, because like, I feel like that's a very superficial view of manhood. Like,
well, no,
you're just a gamer.
More of like how
you're literally just a gamer. Because
well, no,
like any other,
more in the vein. I'm more in the vein of like how some dudes be like, girls don't understand this and that and third, and it's like,
yeah, they shouldn't be bitching about this if they actually talk to girl gamers. Like, that's literally a dem problem once again. Because like, Twilight, you play video games.
I know. Like,
that's not a guy's struggle. They just make it into a guy's struggle because they don't see women as multifaceted and capable of playing games. Because there's so many. I hate so many things of how guys love to complain about how their nerdy interests aren't understood and all this other kind of shit. And there's plenty of women who are into this stuff. But if you stop scaring the hoes, then you would actually have access.
Now, hold on. There is one instance where it is completely the reverse. So, I'm going to have to bring up my roommate here.
Yeah, but your roommate...
I know how you feel about her, but hear me out for a second, okay? So, like, her relationship. She got with a nerd, quote unquote, or like a geek. And, like, whenever he starts like geeking out about something, like, I'm over here listening like, yeah man, talk your shit, I understand all that shit, but she absolutely hates it when he gets into that mode. Like, she genuinely sees him as less attractive when he gets into this mode. I'm like,
but you know what,
you hate this nigga then?
But I'm gonna say what I was gonna say before. That's your roommate, and your roommate is, I consider her dumb, number one. And number two, I really don't like this idea that this is seen as like a feminine issue and stuff, because plenty of dudes quote unquote turn their brain off whenever women talk about like their hyperfixations when it comes to, or their special interests when it comes to like quote unquote makeup and stuff, because of how that's seen as like a feminine thing and looked down upon. This is a cultural issue. Like a lot of relationship things just go down to cultural issues of how people are only into relationships for the status of a relationship and not because they actually care about compatibility with that person. Because like the fact that she gets annoyed, it's one thing to not like the same thing as your partner because you're not obligated to like everything, but to get annoyed that they talk about something that they like, it's because you care about having a relationship as a status and not really engaging with them as a person.
I mean, they also got into a relationship not too long after meeting each other. They ended up like getting to know each other a little bit, but it's still like a long ways to go because,
well, there you go.
She's also very pushy about some stuff, and then like he could be like, I don't like that thing, and it's just like, but why? And it's like, I just don't like it. And like, okay, but why though? And it's just like, can you just leave it at that? He doesn't like it. Just
and that's the thing. Like, and it's about having a relationship as a status instead of engaging with somebody as a person. But like I really hate how I really dislike the, because I'm not saying it's you, but like that kind of stuff, especially when some girls talk about it, it gives pick me, because like this is really not a men's struggle, and a lot of it is the fault of men when it comes to certain things. Because like I remember seeing discourse, right? And I hate it when stuff like that happens. There's like these videos whenever these girls would like destroy consoles and stuff. And that is textbook abuse, right? Because you shouldn't be breaking somebody's stuff just because you're not getting what you want from that partner and stuff. But at the same time, I hate it whenever people be like, oh, why is it that gamer people always get the most stuff? And then people often forget that there are some people who straight up like neglect responsibilities over video games. Like, what do you mean you paid for another AAA game instead of paying for the utilities and stuff? Like, it's a
whole nother issue.
It's a whole other issue. And it gets me how dudes' interests are like prioritized over like socializing and engaging with a partner and stuff. Like, yes, I know that gaming is your special interest and stuff, but you're also in a relationship and you need to be able to engage outside of that. Otherwise, why the hell are you here? And that's where it comes down to the issue of having a relationship as a status thing. People are just together just to say that they have somebody, but they're not really with that person. They're with an idea of that person. And your roommate's relationship seems like a textbook definition of that, because it's just like, you should not be disgusted at your partner's interests. It's one thing to be uninterested, but to be disgusted?
Like, she straight up tells it to his face, too, and I'm like...
Well, at least she's honest about it. I would rather somebody not lie. Like, if you say that you don't give a damn, if you don't give a damn about my stuff, I want to know so I can not be bothered.
No, it's more of the fact that she just straight up says, you are really unattractive right now. I'm like...
Yeah, she shouldn't say it like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll straight up tell somebody that I don't care about something, because I told you how I don't give a fuck about me. I was just like, you have a limit of 2 posts per day. Coworker was talking about shooting games, and this dude comes out and starts talking shit and told some story about how he can't let a girl be better than him at it. Damn, if I didn't spend my points earlier, I'd have 1,000. I hate the economy. You're talking about the toggle thing. It's okay. You'll get it someday. Just show up to more of my streams. Yes, I am plugging myself. It is my birthright. But like, I'll straight up tell somebody that because I don't want somebody to waste their time, and I also don't want to be annoyed just sitting there. Like, if something is like, quote unquote, unbearable, it's not unbearable. Miguel isn't unbearable. You gushing over Miguel, or even Ramacha, or even Zarantha sometimes isn't unbearable for me. It's just, I have a limit. You know that one scene It's not even you, because like you make it bearable because I like you. But if anybody else says anything, I'm like, ooh, shut up. Now, if you like Ghetto Suguru from Jujutsu Kaisen, which is never going to happen, we're going to have to stop being friends because I respect myself too much.
I mean, I don't watch JJK. I'm not really interested.
But... yeah, but that's not the point. That's not the point. What layer did I put this on? Okay. Doing this in another perspective is more difficult, right? Because it's not as straightforward. You know what? I might cancel this. Not cancel this, but like I might put it on pause.
There are some people and things that make me hit the Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
Which one? The one where he face palms in the Chrono scene, or the shut up one? Which one?
The fucking shut up one. This is also why I stopped.
How little that narrows it down, popcorn.
This is why I also the shut the fuck up, please. This is also why I stopped talking about Game of Thrones with you, because you will always be confused all the time, and then I realized how much damn lore there is.
I mean, I try to follow, but it's so much.
It's so much, because like you gotta
I try to follow, but it's so much.
You gotta talk about a history book before you even get to the main fucking plot, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna stop, because like you're not even into the show. So I'm just...
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, even now, I forgot, like, half of the fucking lore that you told me.
Yeah. This is why, like, whenever you're talking about, like, writing advice and stuff, I only bring it up in the context of that, because unfortunately, everybody and their mom dicks writes that show, but there's actually a lot of valuable stuff to learn from. Like, the way that I write dialogue is partially because of Game of Thrones, because I think that George is really good at dialogue. Shout out, George.
Honestly, I don't know how I got good at dialogue. I think it was mostly just art role playing. Like,
yeah, but I had like nobody to role play with.
Like years of role playing and like reading fanfics and being like, oh, I like the way that they wrote this.
See,
and
I could never use fan fiction as a reference. I can, but the ones that I like specifically was either smut or...
It was also because I read a lot when I was younger, so there was like a lot of books that I liked, and that was also part of it. Because like I read a hell of a lot because I kind of had to back in school, because you know there was like the what was it called?
I made my reading goals beyond my reading goals. The
it
AR
wasn't reading goal. Yes, AR. That's what it was.
I stayed read up. And I always had money to get a book from the fucking from the book fair. Junie B. Jones was my best friend.
I was always so upset because my dad would almost never give me money for the book fair. Like I would always have to like hold on, like held for any money that I got, and like half the time whenever the book fair rolled around, I never had money, so I would always have like maybe like 50 cents and shit, and I couldn't get a book, and I'm like, there were so many books that I wanted. Like I was like, oh, I want that book, I want that book,
but like,
and then
Ramona
I could never
Quimby,
get it because my dad would never give me that shit.
Ramona Quimby and Junie B. Jones, they were my besties. Popcorn. Yeah, I don't know how good dialogue is as smut on average. It's good when I read it because I find good stuff. But like a lot of smut tends to be lame because motherfuckers won't let go of the daddy title. Like, please. Like, I don't know. I come from a single parent household, and there's like this weird standard that people have on women with daddy issues, that they expect you to like do everything for them because, oh, if you have daddy issues, then that means that you put men on a pedestal. And I'm like, no, I will kill you.
No. I have daddy issues to a degree. I do not care. I will not call you daddy. I will not put you on a pedestal.
I'm like the protagonist of the Prey movie. If it bleeds, it can die. And if it can die, I could kill it. That's me when it comes to dudes. Somebody's like, trust men or be Puerto Rico, and then they had like a fucking or be Latina, and they had a video with Jayla and like trust men, and it's not that I don't trust men, right? Because like I don't want to be, I'm not a TERF, because like I feel like a lot of TERFism is hatred of men, but like the thing about TERFs is that they hate men, but they won't pull up, and instead they punch down on minorities, bitches. But I am griping about a lot of stuff because holy shit, the culture is ass. Like, I love y'all, but do better, please. I swear to God, I survived on Captain Underpants and Goosebumps. Goosebumps was pretty cool, but I wasn't all that into Goosebumps. Like, I was more of the Curse of the Campfire Weenies kind of person.
For me, it was Magic Tree House.
Yup.
A to Z mysteries.
Yup.
Let's see what else.
We grew up in the same house. Did you read the Warrior Cat series, unfortunately?
What can I say?
No.
What can I say?
Who came in?
What can I say?
Shade? Is that Shade?
No, it's Ambrosia. Hey, Ambrosia.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
We're talking about
I got thrown off because I forgot about the fucking
the soundboard thing.
The join sound. I thought because that's what I was like. Because I heard the voice first before I heard Ambrosia. Okay, so I'm like, is this Shade? Because it sounded similar. So I'm like, is that him? And it's like, no, it's Tigger.
It's okay, Popcorn.
No,
Warriors is pretty mid. Also, Ambrosia, you're on stream. I just want to let you know.
Oh, you still streaming?
Yeah, I'm almost done though, because like I decided to stop because drawing the hair was too hard, and I'm like,
Oh, let me pop in real quick. I was being a mod somewhere, so I couldn't. And also, I was working on my whatchamacallit, reference, not my reference, but like my Google Doc for whatchamacallit, my rebrand. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Google Docs. So are you like writing down a plan of what you want your new model to look like, or is it lore?
I put all my references for each outfit in there. I also wrote like a little synopsis of what I would want on the outfit, like things that, like little details that obviously I didn't want to go look for references of, because obviously the artist can easily conceptualize what I'm talking about. Yeah, things like that.
Well, sometimes the references helps though, because like even if I have a clear plan in mind, I always like, because sometimes I get caught up in the details that I'll forget. References. Okay.
Yeah, I made sure to go in detail if like I didn't put a reference.
Oh, Popcorn said I got super into reading for like a couple of years but I think it was mostly social outcast boredom than genuinely wanting to. Yeah, it'd be like
it was both. It was both for me, because it was like I genuinely did like reading, but it was also just like whenever I was bored, that's what I would go to, and that's what I usually did when I was like on punishment and shit with my parents. It was just like, oh yeah, you don't have electronics. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm reading for the entire week.
I read for fun, because like my mom made reading fun and shit. She would make songs from the damn Dr. Seuss books. Like reading was fun, but like when you go to college and there's a lot of required reading, you want to turn your brain off after you finish that shit.
Oh god, yes, that was me with that fucking essay. I got it done, but it was hell. Like most of what I read now is just smut. I need to actually hook up a book. Yeah. Like even if it's a smut book, I want more than just smut, because like especially when there's like characters with smut that I can't find, because they either put shitty tropes on there, or there's like barely, like Gojo, there's shitty tropes in there, or if it's a character that doesn't have shitty tropes, it's only like 2 good fics because they barely have any content, like Noir. Like I gotta make my own shit. I gotta be like Thanos. Fine, I'll do it myself. And I'm like, damn it, I gotta do it myself.
Fine.
Like I'm literally going to write Smut Anonymy as a spinoff to take a break from my Jujutsu fan. Please read my Jujutsu fanfic. I'm literally gonna put a timer in the damn stream just to get niggas to read it, because please. I did world building in there. I'm actually proud of it, because I haven't written full on prose in so long, because most of what I've written was like stuff that I've done with Zivia for the comic thingy. We haven't even done full on prose for that. We'll have time. Technically, I can't even do full on. Well, okay, prose doesn't necessarily mean like full on sentences and stuff, but like, it's not going to be traditional prose, because it's going to be in the form of a script, because we're making a comic, and it's better to do like a script than like a whole document, because at least for me.
I think how to do sequential art as of current, so I will have notes on the shit.
Yeah. Plus, I've been.
That's a masterclass I'm in. I'm literally doing sequential art, and it's supposed to hopefully come out to a fully realized book. Hopefully.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm already a foot in the door, so whatever I learn here would probably very much help for this.
Plus, I have to make those notes for you, Ambrosia, and Mocha for like the basic drawing thing. Like, I have the book, I have the PDF.
He did send me some figure study figure study tutorials. There it is. But he did send me some, so I will probably watch that maybe sometime tomorrow, because I don't have practice again. But yeah, I'm gonna look at those.
But yay! Like, I'll send y'all the book, because I pirated the book, and then I'll send companion notes explaining the concepts and stuff and what I got from my professor's perspective of it. And it's gonna be a good day. Let's go piracy! Let's go popcorn! But we're gonna end this with this. Let's end it with hope for reading things besides smut and for learning new skills. Any chance I could get a shot at that too? Yes. I'll remind myself. Like, actually, let me go ahead and write a list. I'll remind
you as well.
I'll write a list. Folks, I need.
Oh shit! I was supposed to forward that to my friend.
Art notes to.
Forward.
Popcorn.
You're Australian?
Civia,
oh my gosh.
Ambrosia,
that's so cool.
Mocha.
I'm just a boring New Yorker.
I also gotta send it to Cuddles.
I have no redeeming qualities.
Also, oh yeah, Popcorn, I'm finally gonna draw Cuddles as a gnome, because you know how sometimes I would make jokes about him sitting in his armchair reading philosophy and eating a piece of pound cake while shitting on things? Like, yeah.
That sounds so specific.
It's so specific because it works for him, I swear to God.
That is literally what that nigga would do, like.
But I'm drawing him as a gnome. Ooh, I keep seeing this one post in my feed. Like, okay, well, not this post, but this one page. But they always draw Gojo X Ghetto stuff. And today I made like a post about like having to fight the urge to say wasted talent, to not say wasted talent under somebody's page whenever you see some shit you don't like. To be honest, I never had that urge until like this year because of Miguel and Gojo X Ghetto. Because it's just like, usually I see it and I'm like, I'm gonna mute it so I don't be bothered. But it's just like, this art is so pretty. Why'd you use that for this? People can do whatever they want. Right? Because like, I want to make that clear. You can't change something. And I don't aspire to. Because, like, sometimes I shit on things, and some people take that as a prescription, and it's just like, I'm glad that you hold my opinion in that regard, but I am not telling you to do things. I'm just saying that I'm not liking what's there. That to me, when it comes to, like, shitting on something, there's, like, a difference between shitting on it and actually making a call for change. And the reason why I don't make calls for change is because people don't like being told what to do and will literally self-sabotage just because they were told to do something. And to be honest, I understand. Whenever I'm about to wash the dishes and then my mom tells me to wash the dishes while I'm on the way, it makes me not want to wash the dishes anymore.
Me as fuck. Because
I'm like, do you not see this? It's like I don't matter.
You not see me about to go do something.
Sometimes my mom will sit next to me and I'm eating something, right? And then I put the plate away and I sit back down and she was just like, did you eat? And I'm like, did you not see me? Everybody in my house is depressed. We're probably all disassociating right now.
Wait. He's sitting next to you. He's watching you eat the plate of food. You go put the food away, the bowl away, and she asks you, did you eat? Huh?
Yeah, she has a lot of stuff on her mind. Everybody in the house has been stressed about stuff. I pray for everybody in there.
Okay. Understandable, but like I'm like
at the same time, it's like, holy shit, do I even exist? Sometimes I make T-Rex jokes. Sometimes I make T-Rex jokes. I'm like, Mom, do I have to move in order for you to see me sometime? And she's like, shut up. To be honest, her eyesight is a little bit worse than mine. Like, she has to have light in front of and behind her in order to see well, or else her eyes hurt. Meanwhile, I'm like the bat. Like, I only like brightness when it's daylight and stuff, and then when it's dark outside, I want everything else around me to be dark.
You know, I kind of used to be like that. I'm not gonna lie. Especially at nighttime, like I just like all my lights off.
Mhm.
Like, what crazy for me thing, the thing about it is for the daytime, I just like all the lights off. I don't really like turning on the lights. I just like to keep the lights off. Sometime, like, let's say mid-evening, if I want to see what I'm eating and stuff, I'll turn on the light, but then immediately I'll turn the light off when I'm in my bed. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also like charge my phone away from my bed, cause like it's good to not have technology while in the bed, because like that keeps your mind active, and like your body no longer associates the bed as a place of rest. So like I try to keep phone usage minimum. Like it's literally why my computer is away from my bed.
Oh yeah, mine is too. I just need to learn how to control my phone and usage. Most of the time I just like to put it on, like, since right now I don't have like a bed frame right now, because like a lot of things are going on in my house. I just been having my mattress on like another like big thing and whatnot, and like it's been very comfortable, not gonna lie. Sleeping on the floor has really been better than sleeping on a bed frame for some reason. I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, I just don't understand. But quite literally, like, I just put my phone on my nightstand so I can't reach it, and so therefore I have to force myself to go to bed because I'm lazy.
Yeah, and it also makes me get up to turn off the alarm. So I'm like, damn it, I gotta actually get up. Popcorn said I'm scared to keep my phone away from my bed if I wake up. Sometimes sleeping on the floor is a massive mood, and I would never sleep on the floor willingly unless I got like cushions under me. Cause like I love back
but
support.
I'm not on the floor. Just my mattress and like my box under the mattress is on the floor. Cause like I just threw away my bed frame because mom was like, "Oh, we're moving," and then we ended up not moving. Oh, yeah, it's okay. We're still figuring out the housing thing. It's all right.
Well, I hope things go well.
My room's gonna be renovated though, so I'm probably not gonna be sleeping in my room next year for a while. Yeah.
I couldn't find for a while.
Why the fuck, Yuri? Shut the hell up. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Also, hold on. Let me go ahead and end this, because the stream ended up going a lot longer than I thought, and I still got work to do. Like, I'm gonna finish this damn last minute report, and it's not even the presentation that I have to do tomorrow. It's something that I gotta just turn in. I hate shit. On some naps to look type stuff, but laying on the floor and feeling like garbage. Yep. Bless. I don't mind sitting on the floor to sketch or whatever, but like I'm not laying on the floor. But
oh, I would not lay on the floor. I'll lay on my bed though. The hell?
Yeah.
So I look like lay on my floor.
But I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. I'm still gonna talk to y'all in Discord, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. Thanks for sitting and listening to me ramble about like law and shit, because we ended up talking about all kinds of stuff. But have a good night. Stay above the water.